Hallo meine Lieben und herzlich willkommen in meinem kleinen Eckchen hier auf Twitch und auch herzlich willkommen wie immer an alle, die später auf YouTube reinschalten. Wie immer unten in der Beschreibung findet ihr die Timecodes für was auch immer wir heute anstellen. So, ich habe für diese Woche 2 Genshin Impact Streams angesetzt, weil es wird einfach immer mehr. Ich komme gar nicht mehr hinterher. Wir haben einmal hier den Archontenauftrag. Wir haben diese Begegnung im Wald, die wir noch machen müssen, um diverse Sachen freizuschalten. Wir haben hier noch die Legendenaufträge. 3 an der Zahl inzwischen, plus noch hier ein Einladungsereignis. Also, es gibt einiges zu tun. Habe ich eigentlich das Mikro an? Ja, wir haben das Mikro an. Es funktioniert alles. Ton ist da. Ja. Schön. So. Und das ist eigentlich so das Ziel für heute. Machen wir jetzt mal die Sachen hier ab. Und gucken. Ich glaube, hier werden sie noch nicht ganz durch sein, weil ich habe gestern, ja doch, relativ spät nochmal Daily-Belohnungen abgeholt. Und dann auch gleich bei der Gelegenheit die Erkundung hier aktualisiert. Aber ich war wohl doch nicht ganz so spät dran, dass die noch nicht durch sind jetzt. So. Pfad der glimmenden Jade, genau. Darum geht es mir. Dass wir da noch ein bisschen Schicksale abgreifen. Und vielleicht nochmal 10 Ziehungen auf Nilo machen können. Wenn wir denn das nötige Urgestein zusammen haben. So, sonst noch, dann haben wir den 5 Winden folgend und das Hyakunin Ikki. Das sind die aktuellen Events. Was wollte ich denn? Ich wollte Becher sagen. Die aktuellen, warum? Weil da Becher steht. Die aktuellen Events. So, alles andere. So. Ich würde sagen, Hyakunin Ikki hat normalerweise keine große Story, deswegen gehen wir da einfach mal hin. Vielleicht auch zu den 5 Winden folgend. Das weiß ich aber noch nicht, weil da haben wir noch ein bisschen Zeit. Das können wir auch am Donnerstag machen, wenn wir lustig sind. Zum Auftrag. Das ist der Hyakunin Ikki Arena der Narukami. So, und dann weiß ich noch nicht. Da hat was geblinkt da hinten. Habe ich mir das eingebildet? Ha. Scheint so. Okay, wo müssen wir denn jetzt überhaupt hin? Wo ist es? Wo ist es? Wo ist es? Ich sehe es. Ah, hier. So, das ist ja wirklich irgendwas, was immer wieder mal kommt. Ich glaube, da wird keine große Story dran hängen. Wir starten es trotzdem einfach mal vorsichtshalber. Da. Kayabuki Ikki. Hey, Krieger aus einem fremden Land. So sieht man sich wieder. Ah, sehe ich dich wieder. Du bist so gut in Schuss wie eh und je. Kurz gesagt, in den letzten Tagen scheint wieder jemand ein geheimes Hyakunin Ikki zu veranstalten. Schon wieder? Ja, vielleicht hat dein Mut im Kampf die Leute angezogen. Das Publikum war sogar so begeistert, dass es aussah, als wollten sie selbst in die Arena klettern und mitmachen. Um ehrlich zu sein, ich hätte nicht gedacht, dass das nächste Hyakunin Ikki so bald sein würde. Jedenfalls sind hier zu viele Leute, um über solche Dinge zu diskutieren. Du solltest wie immer mit mir kommen. So, hier wären wir. Es gelten dieselben Regeln wie immer. Sobald du diese sehr verdächtig aussehende Tür betrittst, befindest du dich am Austragungsort der Kämpfe. Es sieht so verdächtig wie immer aus. Wie auch immer, ich werde deine Heldentaten dokumentieren und dich dieses Mal lauthals anfeuern. Toll, ich kann es kaum erwarten. Es kommt mir immer so nervig vor. Ja. Nun, ich hoffe, dass ich auch dieses Mal deinen brillanten Schwertkampf zu sehen bekomme. Schön, dass man das so sarkastisch auch kommentieren kann, weil, ja, nervig trifft's. So. Diebesnest. Moment, ja, ach, Belohnung stand da sogar. Da können wir doch gucken. Moment. So, Belohnung. 500 Punkte, 1000 Punkte, 2000. So. 500 reicht, da gibt es das Urgestein. Ach ja, das waren immer diese Zweiergruppen. Ach Gottchen, ja. Moment. Moment, was haben wir denn da? Und weißt du, was Schatz der Tango-Bande, wie auch immer diese Angst hat, sollten den Glanz des goldenen Luftwirbels nicht schmälern. Nichts Besonderes, dann würde ich die jetzt so einfach hier einstellen. Zack. Es werden immer mehr, kann das sein? So. So. Wen setzen wir noch rein? Die beiden vielleicht. So. Ach, und dann kann ich noch jeweils einzeln die Fähigkeiten einsetzen. Och nein. Das dauert ja ewig. Oh. Was mit Verwirbelung, das würde ich vielleicht mal hier hinpacken. Leute, ich muss mal eine ganz kurze Pause machen. 5 Minuten. Wir sehen uns gleich wieder, ja? Tut mir leid. Aber gleich bin ich wieder. So, entschuldigt meine Lieben, aber jetzt können wir weitermachen. So, wo war ich stehen geblieben? Genau. Einmal Verwirbelung. Was haben wir hier? Nach dem Truppenauftritt Elementarschaden. Nachdem die aktuelle Vermisste nach dem Truppenauftritt Elementarschaden verursacht hat, den von dieser Figur verursachten 80%. Oh, das nehmen wir mal für Jula, würde ich sagen. Kryoschadenbonus. Hier erhöht den Sammeln von Eifer. Für andere verursachten physischen Schaden. Das ist Jula, ja. Zack. So, was haben wir hier noch? Vakuumfeld voll auf eine Anemo-Schadenhilfe. Das verschwindet beim Truppenwechsel. Nehmen wir das doch hier. So. Wellenbereiche. Hydroschaden. Wäre hier aber auch nicht schlecht, ne? Machen wir es doch hier drauf. Zack. Dendrokernschaden zufügt. Wisst ihr was? Ich will es jetzt nicht so detailliert mit durchlesen alles. Ich hau jetzt einfach drauf. So. Mikro ist noch an. Gut. So, was haben wir hier? Elektroschadenbonus. Den können wir hier oben reinhauen. So, dann haben wir einen Geoschadenbonus. Den hauen wir hier rein. Dann haben wir Anemo-Schadenbonus. Crit. Oh, Crit-Bonus wäre auch bei Jula cool. Ein Trumm auf Angriff. Ach, mach mal andere. Nee, Angriff ist eigentlich gar nicht so cool hier. Elementarkunde. So. Und ihr bekommt Standardangriff. Moment mal. Standardangriffe? Ah, doch, könnte sein. Was ist das hier? Physischer Schaden. Okay, hier ist Standardangriffe. Okay. Nee, machen wir es so. Komm. Ich will da jetzt auch keine Wissenschaft draus machen, Leute. Eigentlich will ich es ja nur kurz zeigen und dann ist gut.
There's no end. Submit for judgment. Swift and merciful.
No, my sword. Let me weave you a verse. Rain outline.
Das ist nice.
Spirit blade. Attack. Okay.
muss ich wechseln, ne? So.
By royal decree, wings of darkness.
Welche?
Come, sever night from Deshret.
Level 40. Ich wollte gerade sagen, wieso zerplatzen die so? Das ist ja übel.
I summon thee.
Das ist ja... Erbärmlich ist das.
Shadow Raven, let night fall. Good grief. More speed. Sketch. Eye for an eye. Flood of frost. Rack and ruin. More speed. Eye for an eye. Diana special. Think you can bully me? Freeze to the core. Rack and ruin.
Hä? Wieso tue ich dem nix? Achso, ich muss wieder wechseln.
This is order. Stabilize.
Over here. Everybody stand back.
Order guide you. Rise.
Teamwork is dreamwork.
Kampffähigkeit sinkt enorm,
This
okay.
is order.
Steht's doch immer. Na, könnten wir jetzt bitte... Danke.
Time for
Over here.
retribution.
Animal hypostasis emulation. Absorption test.
Verdict is. How's this business? Hey. Let's get down to business. I hear everything.
Schön.
Enshroud.
Permanence of the deep.
Hey, I'll uproot you.
Die zerplatzen hier wie nix. Das
One
ist
with
ja...
the bars.
Naja,
Keep up.
eher wenig Herausforderung.
Billowing surge.
I hear everything. Can't see. One with my blade. Submit for judgment.
Witness the power of Gua.
Let's get down Day. Spirit blade.
Na, Kontrolle her hier! Traut ihr euch nicht?
Let me weave you a bird. Oz, reveal thyself.
Hä? Ist hier keine... Ach, da! Wieso hat denn das so lange gedauert?
Into the fire.
Another test. That tingle?
Wings of darkness.
So, Silber. Na gut, immerhin. Das ist irgendwie lame. Hallo Tron, Hallöchen. Einen schönen Abend dir. So. Naja gut, dafür kriegen wir immerhin das Urgestein. Hoffe ich. Irgendwie irgendwas rausfinden. So, Moment. Okay. Herausforderungsbelohnung 1. Ja gut, das ist halt das Hyakunin Ikki. Das ist wieder so eine Kampfherausforderung. Den 5 Winden folgend. Was ist das? Ist das wieder so ein... nach einer merkwürdigen Sphäre zu suchen? Das müssen wir aber nicht unbedingt heute machen, oder? Ich würde jetzt erstmal wieder zur Hauptmission übergehen. Und die fertig machen. Und dann würde ich vielleicht mal schauen, dass wir vielleicht endlich mal hiermit anfangen. Mit dieser Nebenmission, die halt relativ viel Features hier freischaltet in dieser Welt. Damit ich das auch mal nebenbei machen kann. So. Ein Vierer-Duell. Im Moment kannst du keine Hilfe von Nahida bekommen. Genau, die Nahida ist uns ja quasi weggenommen worden. Die kann uns nicht mehr helfen. Erstmal, wir müssen jetzt gucken, wie wir weitermachen. Wir haben uns, glaube ich, mit Tignari zusammengetan und haben gesagt, okay, wir müssen jetzt weiter in Richtung Wüste. Das ist ja das neue Gebiet. Und das schauen wir uns direkt mal an. Ich muss dahin. Ah, ich war noch gar nicht in der Richtung. Ich wollte gerade sagen, wieso habe ich denn hier den Teleport noch nicht freigeschaltet? Die Frage ist, wo fangen wir denn dann am besten an? Hier, das sieht aus, als wenn es ziemlich weit unten wäre. Vielleicht hier, dann hier hochklettern und dann darüber. Probieren wir es aus.
There is no purer form of water than rain. It can aid us greatly in the purging of evil.
Moment. Okay. Ja, nee, da hinten will ich aber eigentlich nicht hin. Will der hier hoch? Obwohl doch, da hinten will ich hin. Irgendwie so indirekt. Na? Oh. Das wäre beinahe schief gegangen. Ah, und jetzt kann ich hier quasi... Muss ich das mit den... Ich glaube, das muss ich mit den... Ach, das, was ich hier gerade hatte. Aktivieren. Das muss ich mir erstmal wiederholen. Moment. Gucken wir mal, ob ich richtig liege. Ja, okay. Okay, ging zwar nur um eine Truhe, aber...
Destiny has brought me hither.
Besondere Truhe. Ich will ja, aber eigentlich will ich ja... Will ich. Will ich. Und so. Hier will ich hoch. Da. Das wäre eigentlich so das Ziel. Jetzt wäre ich beinahe abgestürzt.
Oh, the sun's out. Oh, this meteorological transformation is...
So, da kommen wir aber hier über die Ecke gut hochgeklettert, würde ich sagen. So. Gucken wir mal. Heutiges Abendessen der Hilchhole. Machen wir danach. Komm mal so vom Berg runter gestürzt. Oder so. Keine Ahnung. So, ich hoffe, ich bin hier richtig und nicht, dass das irgendwie unten in einer Höhle im Berg ist. Nein, alles gut. So. Sind überall so Blümchen, aber ohne... Was haben wir denn da? Was bist du? Aha. So, und nü? Was? Oder muss man das zu dritt machen, dass ich da jetzt jeweils auch ein anderer Spieler reinsetzen muss? Wirkt so ein bisschen so, ne? Spannend. Okay, ich lasse es jetzt erstmal sein. Okay, hier ist auch nichts drin. Lass es jetzt erstmal sein. Interessant. Ich will doch eigentlich auch nur von hier aus weiter. Wo muss ich denn jetzt hin? Hier unten hin. Da den Weg runter. Okay. Ach, ich wollte mich doch um die Hirchhole kümmern. Ja, ist schon wieder weg, das Ereignis. Dann holen wir uns noch die Kiste.
Submit for judgment.
Na, wo ist er? Ah, ist noch ein. Ach, noch zwei sogar. Wo habt ihr euch denn versteckt?
Swift and merciful.
Rain outlines your fate. Rain cut. Reveal thyself.
Das sagen sie alle. Das sagen sie alle. Dass sie zurückkommen werden. Und dann klaue ich euch doch die Kiste.
Unexpected, but welcome.
Ah, das sieht nach Stadt aus. Ich glaube, wir sind richtig hier. Dendroculus. Aber wo? Wahrscheinlich da unten. Unten drin.
Time to go to work.
Babum.
Forth, my blade, from whence you came.
That's close.
No, my sword. By royal decree. Cry out my illustrious name. Let me weave you a verse.
Now you test it.
So. Jetzt habe ich eigentlich gedacht, das wäre hier wäre irgendwie so ein Vorsprung und das wäre da drunter. Aber da habe ich falsch gedacht. Hm. Da habe ich wohl falsch gedacht. Ach, hier ist... Ah. Okay. Jetzt wieder so ein verdorbenes Gebiet. Wie war das? Die Verwelkung oder was? Die Frage ist, wo kriege ich denn hier jetzt die entsprechenden Dingsies her, deren Namen ich schon wieder vergessen habe. Dendrogranum? Heißen die Dendrogranum? Oh, hier sehe ich keins. Manchmal tauchen die halt auch erst auf, wenn man das hier auflöst. Das wird da unten drin sein, in diesem Stein. Ja. Naja gut, dann machen wir uns erstmal auf zur Stadt. Wenn ich da nicht auf Anhieb die Lösung, kein Weiterkommen sehe. So. Die Lösung muss ich ja nicht sofort sehen, aber zumindest eine Möglichkeit, dass ich direkt weiterkomme. Die habe ich jetzt nicht gesehen. Ich finde, die Melodie hat... Ich weiß nicht, ist das aus klingt ein bisschen wie die Wüstenstädte in Zelda. Glaube ich. Bin ich sicher. Das kommt mir bekannt vor.
We finally made it to Karawanen-Ribat. It's pretty lively here. So, just past this wall is the desert, huh? Oh, wow. Paimon remembers hearing people call this the Wall of Samiel. It's made to block sandstorms from the outside. Oh, if it's this tall, it's gotta be the divine work of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, right?
Wie beeindruckend.
Enough gawking. Come on, follow me.
Ah, wo kommt der denn jetzt schon wieder her? Alhaitham? 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 Ich weiß es nicht mehr. Woher ist der denn
Over
aufgekreuzt?
here.
Wer hat dich denn eingeladen vor allem?
Alhaitham went that way. Let's hurry up and follow him. Wonder what he's up to.
Das wüsste ich jetzt auch gern. Eben den... So. Ein Vierer-Duell? Duell am Popo.
What the? Where did she go? How did we lose them? They were just here a second ago.
Wer?
More Aramite mercenaries? Who are they working for this time?
Ach so, ich?
Anyway, traveler, it seems
Redet
like we
von
were
mir.
being followed again.
You were too careless. You should have noticed those hopeless amateurs trailing you a long time ago.
Diese Schwanze? Ich frag besser nicht. Was? Danke für deine Hilfe?
There's no need to thank me. I've never cared to keep track of personal favors. All I did was correct a mistake I happened to come across. It's a habit I developed at the academia.
You really gave Paimon a scare, Alhaitham. We never thought we'd run into you here. Last time we met at Port Ormos, didn't you say you were going back to the academia? Wait, don't tell Paimon that you're here to take us back on their orders.
Oh, so you've already landed yourselves on the academia's hit list. I can't say that I didn't expect it.
Na, Hauptsache du hast Spaß.
However, had I wished to turn you over to the academia, don't you think you'd already be the Eremites' honored guests by now?
Oh, right. You do have a point.
Machst du beim Projekt der Weisen mit?
I have no interest in running errands for that project. As a scholar, I've always belonged to the camp that promotes researcher autonomy. And these days, you're more fascinating than anything the sages can offer.
Du hast nach mir gesucht.
Not quite. To tell you the truth, I'm still investigating the divine knowledge capsule. Unfortunately, I've run into some difficulties. Everyone says the capsule originated in the desert and was eventually moved to Port Ormos. If I am to get to the bottom of this, I must understand how the capsule first came to be. Which brings me back to you and why you're so interesting. The leader of Ain al-Ahmar used the divine knowledge capsule right in front of you. And upon seeing him, your expression became perplexed, and you were lost in thought for quite some time. To have that kind of reaction, I think you must have realized something. Are you interested at all in sharing what you've been hiding from me?
Vielleicht, weil ich damals schon wieder die Worte die Welt mich vergessen gehört habe.
Alhaitham, you really have a ridiculous eye for detail. What kind of person even notices or remembers stuff like that?
Die Situation ist etwas kompliziert.
So that's your answer. Well, I do work for the academia after all. So considering that, it is indeed wise to keep your cards close to your chest. But that does prove you do have some undisclosed information about the divine knowledge capsule. Am I right? No matter. Rather than simply learning the answers from you, I'd still prefer to investigate on my own. Speaking of, you two are also headed to the desert?
That's right. We have the same plan as you. But we don't really have any concrete goals at the moment.
Then I'd suggest starting with Aaru Village. It's the largest settlement in the desert, so it'll probably have more resources and intel than anywhere else. Well, would you like to head there together?
Wie du möchtest.
It's always better to travel then when you know, let's go!
Geh zum Aaru-Dorf. Ist hier noch irgendwas Spannendes? Sieht nicht so aus. Ist wirklich nur so eine Zwischenstadt. Ja, ich finde das finde ich ein bisschen schade tatsächlich, dass nur in den Hauptstädten wirklich viel zu machen ist. Die Zwischenstädte sind alle eher so Deko, habe ich den Eindruck. Die kleineren Dörfer. Ja gut, es kommen mal Quests drin vor und so, aber ich meine auch Sachen kaufen oder andere Waffen oder was weiß ich. Ah, ich dachte, die Pilze könnte man pflücken. Falsch gedacht. Ein Pikachu? Nee. Okay. Schon gut. Lass mal gucken. Wie kommen wir denn in die Richtung jetzt? Im Zweifel den Selien folgen. Hier ist es aber trüb. Huch, hallo?
Spirit Blade!
No, my sword! Shadow Raven, let night fall!
Und weiter. So. Ruhe nehme ich auch.
Destiny has brought me hither.
So. Ja, ich glaube, wir sind in die richtige Richtung unterwegs. Passt. Aber ich ignorieren wir mal da hinten. Ein Skorpion. Nur sowas. Aber die Wüste gehört auch noch zum Dendro-Arkon-Gebiet, oder? Oder ist das dann schon wieder das nächste? Das wäre aber relativ früh, wenn sie das freischalten. Nee, ich glaube, das gehört auch zum Dendro-Gebiet. Wir werden es ja in der Statue sehen. Ja, das sieht sehr nach Dendro aus. Eintrag zum Zuflucht der Wüstenabkömmlinge. Aha.
Before us lies Aaru Village, the safe haven of the desert folk.
Whoa, this landscape is really something else. What a cool place! Let's go check it out!
Cyno. Unless my memory fails me, we have barely spoken 2 words to each other before now at the Academia. Would you care to enlighten me as to when and how I invited the General Mahamatra's wrath?
Da haben wir aber welche eine Rechnung offen hier, oder? Vor allem ist es ja krass. Also gerade dieser Abschnitt von Genshin Impact, der hat verdammt viele Zwischensequenzen. Ich glaube, in Inazuma waren das nicht so viele.
Alhaitham, do not think you can escape my judgment just because you managed to escape my attack.
Oh je, was hat er angestellt?
Judgment? So that's how you'd characterize your actions here, is it? Or would elimination perhaps be a more accurate description?
Had I used my full strength, not even this traveler would have been able to stop me. Though styled like an assassination, I sought only to ensure that my target would be unable to flee or resist. Standard practice for the Matra as well.
Seemed to me more like your own personal touch.
Who is that, Alhaitham?
Yes. General Mahamatra Cyno, head of all the Matra at the Academia. He's a formidable hunter, and the ultimate nightmare for any who have committed academic crimes.
You seem to have placed a lot of trust in Alhaitham, to the point of blocking an attack for him. If I were you, I'd never choose to side with him. I wouldn't believe a single word that comes out of his mouth.
Okay.
I've been pursuing this scribe for a long time. I urge you, stand back and do not seek to defend him any longer. Otherwise, there will be consequences.
Ich halte keine großen Stücke auf ihn, aber ich werde auch nicht tatenlos zuschauen.
Has Alhaitham done something wrong? Paimon doesn't think he's as bad as you've made him out to be.
I won't waste my breath explaining things. Alhaitham, I saw it during our fight. Take it out. The divine knowledge capsule you're hiding on your person. Unless you want me to retrieve it for myself.
Ups, erwischt.
Very perceptive of you. Nothing escapes a Matra's senses.
Wait, the divine knowledge capsule? Didn't it fall into the Matra's hands in Port Ormos?
Du hast uns also angelogen.
No wonder you speak with such confidence, Cyno. But I must admit, I'm very curious. What does this capsule mean to you? And why, as General Mahamatra of the Academia, are you all alone in the desert? As far as I'm aware, the other Matra have been speculating about your disappearance.
Ach.
Have you been given a mission that's, let's say, morally dubious? If I was the real target of your mission, what was stopping you from simply using your authority and resources to judge me within the walls of the Academia?
Kommt der Auftrag etwa von den Weisen?
I should have known you'd be difficult to deal with.
You two! What you would do, traveler? Paimon feels like we can't trust either of them.
Well, look at you two, acting all tough and self-righteous over there.
Wait, Dia?
Ja, wer noch? Venti?
Great! Finally, someone that we can trust! You gotta help us out here. Otherwise, these two are gonna start fighting again!
Yeah, sure looks that way. Two giants from the Academia duking it out once and for all. Not something you get to see every day. Listen, I know you academic types love to fill up your big brains with self-righteous morality and lord your empty rules and virtues over each other. But how dare you bring your petty disputes into the safe haven of Aaru Village? It seems like someone's gonna have to beat some sense into your thick skulls until you finally learn to respect these grounds.
Keiner von beiden wagt es, sich von Deya ablenken zu lassen. Beide suchen nach einer Gelegenheit zum Zuschlagen.
Hey, did either of you hear a word I just said?
Whoa, what's going on? The wind's so strong. Is this a sandstorm? Paimon's gonna get blown away.
Ich sag doch, Venti kommt noch dazu.
Another sandstorm? What's up with these recently?
Hey! All of you, over here, quickly! We have to take cover!
Someone's calling for us! Oh, this wind is too strong! Let's get over there!
That sounded like Candace. Come on, you two. Jeez, are all of you academia folks such hard work? Move it!
All right, stop yelling.
Na toll, betretenes Schweigen. Wunderbar.
This is pretty awkward. Hey, wanna play sardines with three people who wanna tear each other limb from limb? Sure, why not? Sounds fun.
Prügel, Prügel, Prügel.
The air is so thick and heavy. Paimon can hardly keep floating anymore.
My sincere apologies, everyone. This is the home of our village chief. I will have to ask you to make do with this small room until the sandstorm dies down. Please, let me introduce myself. I am Candace, protector of Aaru Village.
Our savior has come at last! Nice to meet you, Candace. The name's Paimon. Thank you so much for helping us.
Ja, vielen Dank.
There's no need to thank me. It's only right to help each other when the weather gets rough.
Wow, she's so gentle and caring, like a nice older sister. Unlike those guys over there.
All right. Now that we're all better acquainted, we should return to the topic at hand. As a guardian charged with the responsibility to protect my fellow villagers from harm, I was observing your conflict from afar, even before the sandstorm started. And now that you have set foot within our village itself, it is all the more my responsibility to make absolutely sure that you pose no threat whatsoever to us. So please, have an honest and sincere conversation with one another, and put your hostile feelings to rest. If anyone dares to start anything again while they are under this roof, I will not hesitate to send them out for some quality time with the creatures of the sandstorm.
On second thought, Paimon may have misjudged Candace's character.
And that goes for you too, Miss Dia. Do I make myself clear?
All right, we got it, Candace.
That's what I like to hear. So, which of you will begin?
I was supposed to be a mediator, but I might have gotten a little too involved just now. Anyway, one of those two should probably start talking.
Wait, that was you trying to be a mediator?
I have nothing to hide, so there's no shame in explaining myself. While Alhaitham wasn't wrong about the other Matra not knowing my whereabouts, it's not because I've been assigned a morally dubious mission. Rather, I've chosen to exile myself.
Huh? Exile yourself?
Wofür?
A little while ago, I discovered that there was data missing in the Academia's project planning and development files. What little they did report clearly did not match the project's actual progress. As General Mahamatra, I had the responsibility and authority to request an audit. However, to my surprise, the person responsible for the erroneous data was none other than Grand Sage Azar himself. I tried to investigate the issue myself before submitting a formal audit request, but I soon found that all leads and potential pieces of incriminating evidence were carefully concealed from me. I began to realize that they were cautious of me from the very beginning. Unsurprisingly, the Grand Sage rejected my audit request as soon as the submission reached his desk. He even said to me, "The power of the General Mahamatra is granted by the sages. You have no right to judge us."
So they really are up to no good.
I realized then that to the Grand Sage, the Matra are nothing more than tools for the sages to assert and maintain their control over knowledge. The vows that we took, the principles that we strive to uphold, they are meaningless to the Academia of today.
Okay, deshalb hast du dich selbst ins Exil geschickt?
I believed it would be wise to flee the Academia before the sages had a chance to take action against me. This way, they can no longer see nor predict my actions.
Bevor sich die Weisen an mir vergreifen konnten, ist auch eine sehr gewagte Übersetzung von dem, was er eigentlich gesagt hatte. Okay,
I will never give up on this investigation. There's no need for someone else to give me power or authority. Once I find the truth, I will administer judgment by my own name.
Cyno seems to have the same goal as us. We're all investigating the sages. Plus, now that he's no longer the General Mahamatra, he somehow feels a lot less scary.
können ihm noch nicht vollständig vertrauen.
Well, Cyno, if that's your story, then why did you see Alhaitham as a target?
When I was investigating the matter in the Academia, I overheard a conversation between Alhaitham and a sage. The sages asked you to investigate a blonde-haired traveler. Do you dispute this, Alhaitham?
Oh!
Like many parts of the project, this assignment was undocumented. Now throw in your suspicious behavior with the Divine Knowledge Capsule, and I think we deserve an explanation.
Die Weißen haben sich schon von Anfang an vor uns in Acht genommen.
Yes. I was indeed tasked with investigating the traveler.
Alhaitham!
After all, the promised reward was so great that hardly any scholar could have refused. The sage told me, once you've completed this assignment, I can give you a glimpse of divine knowledge.
A most enticing offer.
Unfortunately, those academics don't know me at all. Their words contained one key piece of information, namely that divine knowledge indeed exists. That gave me all I needed to know. From my perspective, the sages are far from trustworthy. Think about it. Isn't it a little strange they're so willing to share divine knowledge with anyone, even as a reward?
Ja,
So,
schon.
I began my own investigation following the lead of the divine knowledge capsule. In the end, I realized my wisdom in committing to this rather than collaborating with the sages. Had I been less guarded, I probably would have ended up like that Ein Ahmar mercenary, incapable of remaining sane for long enough to hold a conversation.
You mean that the sages originally planned to dispose of you, using one of those capsules that drive people insane?
Was ist mit deiner Begegnung mit mir?
I'd already given up on the assignment by then. I only told the academia I was waiting in Port Ormos for you to appear so they wouldn't suspect anything. So it came as quite a surprise when I encountered my erstwhile target while investigating the divine knowledge capsule.
Criminals do love to talk about coincidences.
Even though I ran into the traveler by chance, I had no intention of providing assistance to the academia. Also, you should remember, you were the ones who decided to follow me and strike up a conversation after I left that tavern.
Das stimmt schon.
That's true. Alhaitham helped us out at Caravan-Ribat as well. Maybe he's telling the truth.
I'm willing to apologize, if that's worth anything to you. I took the divine knowledge capsule behind your back because I judged its existence to be a significant risk. I felt that it would be best for no one to interact with it before it had been properly studied. After all, curiosity often proves to be the most dangerous thing in this land.
You should be well aware, Scribe Alhaitham, that curiosity can also lead you to danger and suspicion. Answer me this. Did the sages share any information about their project with you?
Have I not made myself clear? You and I are both distrusted by the academia. Do you really think they would tell me anything?
Fine. Although you haven't completely proven your innocence, I won't regard you as an enemy.
As you wish.
Good. I'm glad to see you two clearing up your misunderstandings. And now you, Dia. I believe it's your turn.
Oh, sorry. Whatever the boys were talking about must have been so boring that I spaced out.
Das ist auch schon wieder nicht die passende Übersetzung zum Englischen, aber gut.
My situation is pretty straightforward. My employer, Dunyarzad of the Homayani family, is friends with the traveler and is currently recovering from her illness at home. I had nothing going on, so I decided to return to Aaru village for a visit. I was actually looking forward to a pretty exciting time getting back together with everyone here. But then I saw these two random guys in the middle of a pointless argument. It ticked me off, and things went downhill from there.
Is that all? Well, I will admit that definitely sounds like your style. In that case, welcome back, Dia.
That's more like it. I missed you all so much, Candace.
Ja, was noch?
Whoa! What was that sound?
No need to worry. Now that you're no longer at each other's throats, please make yourselves at home. I'll take a quick trip outside to clear out some of those creatures in the sandstorm.
Creatures? In the sandstorm? Are you sure you don't want some backup?
Fighting in a sandstorm is not for the faint-hearted. Anyone without extensive training in these conditions is at a disadvantage. You needn't worry.
Yeah, just leave them to Candace. Don't worry, she's as tough as they come.
Tock, 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 tock.
The wind's died down. That means the sandstorm's over, right? Candace still isn't back yet, though. Is she alright? Maybe we should go out and check on her.
When you put it that way, even I'm starting to feel a little worried. All right, let's go. We've been here long enough, and the boys are as chatty as the floor.
So, hier ist noch ein Teleport. Wo sind wir denn jetzt gelandet? Ich war ja ursprünglich hinten bei der Statue. Genau, die schnappen wir uns auch noch. Ach, da geht es sogar in die Richtung. Da ist noch ein... Ach, den können wir uns auch später holen. Drokulus. Och nee, nicht die. Keine Game.
Candace, you're still fighting? You've been out here dealing with these creatures the entire time?
Yes. They just keep coming in waves. I've lost count of how many I've defeated. Before I realized it, even the sandstorm had stopped.
Nicht nur ordentlich stark, sondern auch sehr ausdauernd.
Here comes another wave!
Leave this round to us. I got interrupted earlier, but now I have something to take my anger out on.
It's been quite a while since I've seen the flame main in action. I'll leave these to you then.
I'll be sure to put on a good show. Let's go!
Okay.
Oz revealed by
Forth, my blade.
rain outlines your fate.
From whence you came.
Witness the power of...
No rest for the wicked.
Noch mehr?
Another wave! When are they ever gonna let up? You're toast! By royal decree!
Okay,
The
reicht.
creatures stopped appearing. Was that the last of them?
What we fought just now was probably the aftermath of the sandstorm. So we should be safe for the time being.
Well fought, everyone. No injuries, I hope.
Huh? Who are you?
Ah, my apologies. I haven't had a chance to greet you yet. I had my hands full taking care of the village's elderly and children. I am the chief of Aaru village. Everyone usually calls me Uncle Anpu.
Hallo?
Sir, I am also originally from the desert, but I have not been back for some time now. May I?
I can't say they've always been common, but recently the storms have become increasingly severe and frequent. Besides sandstorms, we also occasionally get earthquakes. According to an investigator who stayed in the village a while ago, these unusual natural phenomena are related to the withering of Irminsul.
Another effect of Irminsul's withering. So, Irminsul's withering causes withering zones in the forest, and sandstorms and earthquakes here in the desert?
Passt ja.
Everything in the natural world is inextricably connected to Irminsul. These regional symptoms can indeed be a reflection of Irminsul's present state.
Everyone in Aaru village needs to take good care of themselves. Speaking of which, why haven't I seen a single village keeper since I got here?
Village keeper? Who are they? Village guards like Candace?
Does your curiosity know no bounds? Village Keeper is how Aaru village refers to mad scholars, exiled here by the academia. Most of them are scholars who lost their sanity after a period of training in the Avidia forest.
Okay, die schicken also einen Haufen kranker Menschen los, um dieses Dorf zu beschützen? Oder
The
wie?
academia believes that their crazed mutterings may have a negative effect on the psyches of other scholars. So, they're forcibly exiled to the desert.
Hypatia wurde auch
Now,
beinahe in
if
die
you ask
Wüste
me.
verbannt.
Alas, that's exactly what we've been trying to investigate. One by one, the village keepers have been mysteriously disappearing without a trace. But no one in the village has ever seen them leave. If you're planning to stay around the village for the next few days, I'd appreciate it if you could keep an eye out for them.
I've had encounters with those people in the past. I'll see what I can do to help.
The Matra are the ones responsible for their exile. Now that you're no longer with them, are you trying to alleviate your guilt and atone for your past sins? I'm fascinated by how you think.
Mock me if you will, but if you are guilty, I will eliminate you, regardless of my position or identity.
Oh, you're the former General Mahamatra.
Na,
You
die lieben
must be
sich
an
ja.
expert in these kinds of investigations. Thank you for your help.
Ich möchte auch helfen.
Is it because you're reminded of Hypatia? Oh, these poor scholars. First they lose their sanity, now this! We need to help get them back home, safe and sound. But, is it really a good idea to tag along with Cyno? You seem like you really don't trust him.
Deshalb ist dies die perfekte Gelegenheit, ihn genau zu beobachten.
I'll be grateful for the assistance. No doubt you will do a better job than some of my former subordinates. Let's start by finding a spot to share what we know so far.
Ein Vierer-Duell immer noch. Jetzt aktivieren wir aber erstmal die Statue hier. So. Offen steht dir diese Welt, wenn Edelmut dein Herz erhält. Tada! Oh, es sind noch ziemlich viele Teleports freizuschalten. Okay. Wellenreiterrufpunkt, aber da ist doch gar kein Fluss, oder? Spannend. Vielleicht unterirdisch, das könnte natürlich sein. Belohnung für Abenteuerstufe. Ach, guck mal. Tada! 56. Auch mal irgendwann. Hat ja auch nur 2 Jahre gedauert. So. Jetzt haben wir hier schon mal auch noch Zwischenmissionen. Zu denen komme ich ja gar nicht mehr, ey. So viel Zeugs, wie mir hier um die Ohren geballert wird. So, hier war irgendwo ein Dendroculus. Aber wo? Irgendwo drinnen vermutlich. Naja.
Although I've sent myself into exile, I'm still doing essentially the same things as before. Do you still have any questions for me before we start our investigation?
Warum werden die wahnsinnigen gelehrten Dorfwächter genannt?
One of my former subordinates told me that this title has its origins in a strange incident. The academia has long exiled mad scholars to Aaru village. A mysterious phenomenon exists here. When mad scholars first arrive, they are as incoherent and deranged as before. But after spending some time here, they invariably begin to calm down. Initially, the people of Aaru village greatly resented having to take in the mad scholars. But a strange incident one night changed that. Aaru village was struck by the strongest earthquake in living memory. Seeing buildings on the verge of collapse all around him, the then chief of the village was preparing to take everyone to safety. Suddenly, he noticed a mad scholar crouching in a corner, caressing the ground with his hands. A soft, green light radiated from him, like a divine glow against the backdrop of night. Despite the powerful tremors that ripped through the ground that night, all the houses remained upright, almost as if they had grown roots reaching deep into the ground. In the end, not a single building collapsed, and no one was hurt.
Aha, also haben die doch irgendwelche Fähigkeiten mitbekommen.
After that, the people of Aaru village treated the mad scholars with greater kindness, and began to refer to them as the village keepers.
A soft green light? A mad scholar protecting Aaru village? What do you make of it, Traveler?
Nahida könnte dahinter stecken. Nur sie ist dazu fähig.
Paimon thinks so too. Actually, Cyno, do you know if any of the mad scholars continued to wear their Akasha terminals at Aaru village?
In theory, they would continue wearing them so the academia could still monitor their activities. With that said, the main Akasha system would no longer have any interaction with them.
Oh, no wonder! Everything makes sense then! Add in the fact that they calmed down, it was probably Nahida who calmed them.
If you are able to draw a conclusion from this one story alone, then it appears you possess much more information than I do. So, What do you make of the story?
Die niedere Herrin Kusanali ist die wahre Wächterin des Dorfs.
Really? Lesser Lord Kusanali.
What? You don't believe us? Lesser Lord Kusanali was definitely using the Akasha to give her power to the mad scholars.
No, it's not so much that I don't believe you. I'm just struck by your reasoning. Lesser Lord Kusanali, the current Dendro Archon. Is she really active in Sumeru? The Academia has always placed far greater importance on the late Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. They've more or less ignored Lesser Lord Kusanali, and I've never had any reason to doubt their views. In addition, I've never heard any stories about Lesser Lord Kusanali and her deeds. To me, she might as well have been a god that never existed.
No way! Nahida definitely exists! She's a... How should Paimon put it? She's a good Archon who's kind and wise. Even if she says weird stuff sometimes.
Sie hat mir kürzlich einmal das Leben gerettet.
I've spent many years interrogating criminals.
Good! Then you should know that we're telling the truth.
That look in your eyes. I've never seen that from a liar. You two really must have met Lesser Lord Kusanali. How can this be? To think, our Archon has been amongst us this entire time.
All right, now it's our turn to put our skills to good use for this investigation.
Yup.
But easier said than done, especially since we don't have any leads. Maybe we can start by knocking on some doors.
Excuse me, are you here to help me find my grandpa?
Huh? Who are you?
By the sounds of it, a resident of this village.
My name is Isak. You'll help me find my grandpa, right?
Is your grandpa a mad scholar?
Hey, don't say that. Grandpa is just Grandpa. Why do you have to call him that? It's not like he's a bad person or anything.
The person you're referring to is not a local. Yet you are. Why do you call him Grandpa?
Grandpa is just Grandpa. He's my family. I heard everything you said to the village chief. Please, you gotta take me with you. I want to find my grandpa. I swear I'll help. I won't be a nuisance.
Ah, so you're the one who was eavesdropping on us around the village chief's house. I was planning to go out and take care of whoever it was. But I had a vague feeling that they didn't harbor any ill intent.
Whoa. Alhaitham wasn't kidding about Matra having sharp senses. Cyno, he's just a kid. All he wants is to find his grandpa. Let's find a way to help him.
Sorry. I was only listening in because I wanted to know where Grandpa went. Honest. If you don't believe me, you can ask Miss Candace.
Cyno, ich bitte dich.
All right. But first, let's confirm the facts with Candace.
Okay, jetzt wollen wir noch den Opi suchen. Von hier aus. Hier ist viel Stuff, was man sammeln kann. Hier haben sie sogar was an die Bäume gehängt. Ist natürlich spaßig, den Spaß zu pflücken. Was haben wir denn hier? Datteln. Ganz einfach Datteln. Ich wollte nur ein bisschen gucken hier. Was ist... Okay. Und was macht ihr da? Schisser. Interessant. Okay. Dann wollen wir mal. Hier noch mal ein bisschen die Map anschauen. Das ist schon ein ziemlich großer Batzen, der hier freigelegt wurde. Mal schauen. Wie viel wir da noch zu sehen kriegen heute.
Cyno is super vigilant. Is this what all the Matra are like?
Ah, you're back already.
We just wanted to confirm something with you. Do you know a boy by the name of Isak?
I had a feeling he'd go looking for you.
Huh? You knew this would happen?
Yes. Although he tried his best to stay hidden, I still noticed him eavesdropping outside the window. He really wants to get his grandfather back. Isak's parents were both Aramite mercenaries who rarely returned to the village after finding employment in the city. He was raised by his grandfather. Unfortunately, it was only a few years before his grandpa passed away. Isak was still very young at the time, so various families in the village took turns caring for him so he could survive. Later, an elderly mad scholar arrived at the village. Isak thought the scholar bore a striking resemblance to his grandfather.
Ah, okay.
And thus often spied on the man. However, the scholar was unkempt in appearance and incoherent in speech. Although Isak referred to the man as his grandpa, he was afraid and didn't dare to approach him. One summer night, the oft mumbling and bumbling grandpa suddenly calmed down and seemed to become more lucid. He even noticed Isak hiding in the distance. So Grandpa walked up to Isak and patted him on the head. He even took Isak to the entrance of the village, where he patiently taught the boy the names of the stars, and accompanied Isak until he fell asleep. The next morning, Isak woke up and wanted to go find his grandpa again, only to realize his grandpa no longer recognized him. It's said that those who saw the scholar claimed he no longer appeared to be crazy, but appeared to be living in his own world, almost as if he were sleepwalking. Isak was thrilled that his grandpa was able to find peace, and would follow him all the time, asking him things like, "Grandpa, want me to take you somewhere fun?" Or, "Grandpa, could you tell me stories about the stars again?"
All this somehow just makes Paimon feel really sad. It seems like they both deserve so much better.
Perhaps. Nearly everyone who lives in the desert has some form of hardship or regret. But even so, we must still continue on with our lives. It's also my reason for fighting. I must continue to protect this land.
Sieht aus, als würde sich Nahida hinter dem aufgeweckten Opa verbergen. Sie sollte auch diejenige sein, die die Schmerzen der wahnsinnigen Gelehrten lindert. Von Cynos Gesichtsausdruck zu urteilen, sollte er auch darauf gekommen sein.
Maybe the people have always had a considerate god watching over them.
Huh? What did you say, Cyno?
No, nothing. As long as Isak keeps his word and doesn't get in our way, we can take him along.
Perhaps you are more compassionate than I gave you credit for. Please accept my thanks on Isak's behalf, Cyno.
Hey, Isak!
Oh, it's you guys!
We've cleared everything up. Let's go find your grandpa.
Really? Wow! Thank you so much!
Deinem Opa geht es bestimmt gut.
Yeah!
All right. Let's ask the local residents some questions first.
Okay. Ach, der Akt ist jetzt schon abgeschlossen. Und jetzt geht's... Aha. Ach so? Aha. Die Frage ist, machen wir hier weiter? Oder machen wir die Begegnung im Wald mal? Ach, machen wir hier weiter. Wir haben ja noch einen zweiten Stream diese Woche.
Excuse me, did you happen to see where the missing scholars went?
You mean the village keepers? Oh, let me think. When I was eating dinner the other day, I saw one of them by the side of the road, muttering away and eating mushrooms and tree roots. They shouldn't go around eating that kind of stuff.
Okay. Did you notice anything else?
Anything else? No, I think that's all I have to tell you.
Okay. Ich wollte gerade sagen, kriege ich hier keinen Weg.
The scholars that have gone missing. Have you...
Those eyes. Those fierce eyes. You look like a real fighter.
Don't change the subject.
Right. You were asking about the the mad scholars. I think it's been a few days since I last saw them. I usually go to bed pretty early, so I'm not too familiar with what goes on at night. But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they act a little strange, they've helped me in the past. If it weren't for them, my house would have collapsed long ago.
Do you also think Grandpa and the others are good people?
Grandpa? Oh, hello there. It's little Isak. You mean that nice man who looks like your grandpa's long-lost twin, right? He was actually the one who protected my house. I saw it with my own eyes. He happened to be staying near my house that day and was doing something with his hands on the ground. It still feels pretty surreal now that I think back on it. Did someone teach them how to do that? Well, whatever the case, I'll always be thankful to him and whoever taught him to look out for others. I'm pretty sure that if I ever went mad, I wouldn't be able to do anything like that.
Gotcha.
Okay. Sind hier oben noch Datteln? Nein, keine Datteln. Schade. Hängt wohl nicht an jedem Baum.
Sir, have you seen my grandpa recently? You know, the one who likes to sit and space out near the village entrance.
Oh, well, if it isn't Isak. Oh, your grandpa, huh? It's been a while. The last time I saw him, he was spacing out by the road as usual. I went and asked him if he'd like any of the food I had prepared, despite my wife's protests. Like many people, she's really quite terrified of them. And speaking of my wife, she's still always complaining about how I don't make enough mora. Might explain why she's always mad at me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for taking care of him.
It was nothing. Hey, you're looking for him, right? Did he go for a walk and...
Yeah.
Oh,
that's no good. Well, once you found him, come by my place again and I'll cook a little something for the both of you. I've known you since you were very young. So as far as I'm concerned, you're family. Please feel free to come by anytime.
Wow, what a nice guy!
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Huh?
Cyno, was ist los?
Don't say anything for now. Isak, stay here. Let's head over there. Stay quiet as you move.
Was jetzt? König Deshret und die drei Heiligen. Der vermisste Dorfwächter. Da ist der Dendroculus wieder. Wo könnte der denn sein? Ach Gott. Ganz da oben vermutlich. Ach je.
Listen, see if you can make out what they're saying.
Have you heard? The mighty Scarlet King, the sovereign of our faith, will soon return to this world.
Yes, of course I have. The Scarlet King is the one and only true ruler of this land. I've never believed in any other gods. Still, you say he's coming back, but it sure doesn't feel like life's about to change around here anytime soon. What's your proof?
Haven't you noticed? The village has been getting more deranged scholars than ever. Delavar was saying that many people also went insane just before the fall of the Scarlet King's civilization in ancient times. We don't quite know why, but it seems like there's some sort of connection between insanity and the Scarlet King. Isn't it a sign of the Scarlet King's power that all the mad scholars have disappeared? If you ask me, they must have been chosen as the final sacrifice for the Scarlet King's resurrection.
Na, hoffentlich nicht.
Huh. Now that you say it, that does make some sense. Does this mean our lives are finally going to take a turn for the better?
Exactly. Those city folks will get what's coming to them.
Now, repeat everything you've just said from the very beginning.
Huh?
Who are you? Where did you come from?
My patience is running thin. You heard what I asked.
Okay.
Yeah. Bro, this guy's something else. Just look at his eyes. One wrong move, and he's gonna flay us alive.
Let's not get on his bad side, okay? I am no match for this guy.
Oh, okay, good sir. What is it you would like to know?
Tell me about the Scarlet King's resurrection.
Well, I only know a few things from hearsay. I went for a drink the other day and heard others talking about a rumor that the madmen will disappear and that the Scarlet King will return to this land. I'm not making this up. I swear.
Hey, go on. Keep talking.
It's true. It's all true, sir. We desert folk have had more than enough of those people at the academia. They keep sending us all their mad scholars and won't let us have a good life. Would you want to live like this if you were in our place? The radicals were even more thrilled than me when they heard the news. We're all praying for the Scarlet King's speedy return. Delavar also said that once the Scarlet King returns to our side, it's only a matter of time before we conquer the land on the other side of the wall. They're all willing to serve under the Scarlet King and fight for a share of the glory.
Is that so?
Seems like he still wants to know more. Keep talking.
Mehr wissen. Weiterreden, weiterreden. Sonst haut er uns.
Got it. At first, I told myself it was just the drink talking. But then all the mad scholars vanished without a trace, just as the rumors said. Please don't beat me up just for mentioning these rumors. If I'm guilty, then everyone else around here is also guilty. I'm just saying what the others said.
The people here really like the Scarlet King, but dislike the Dendro-Archon.
Ja, die Akademie als den Dendro-Archon.
Where is this radical person you talked about?
I haven't run into him over the past few days, so he probably hasn't been around the village. What about you, man? Have you seen him at all?
No, not at all. We wouldn't dare lie to you. He's...
Sounds like you're not too close with the radicals.
No, of course not. All we know are their names.
I have many ways to stop you from talking. And many others to stop you from sending warning messages. So you'd best just stay home and hope I don't hear of you trying to contact anybody. Don't do anything until I've gotten to the bottom of this. Try something foolish, and even Candace won't be able to protect you.
Der stößt ja Drohungen aus, als wäre es nichts Besonderes.
Yes, got it. We'll do just as you say.
That scared Paimon half to death. That was pretty terrifying.
Gut, dass ich nicht zu deinen Feinden gehöre.
He didn't try to reassure us at all. It's like he's used to hearing that. Oh, Paimon bets lots of people have told him that before.
Dann darfst du ihn nicht weiter provozieren.
I heard that.
Sorry.
Entschuldigung.
It's part of being a Matra. The rumor we heard just now seems like a strong lead. But we need to check a few more places.
Bestimmt finden wir... gehen wir zuerst zu den Häusern der Gelehrten. Bestimmt finden wir dort Hinweise.
Very well.
Isaac!
I'm here.
Where's your grandpa's house?
Well, I can take you there. Just follow me.
Ah, zeig. Zeig. Machen wir erstmal... Hallo?
Grandpa? Oh, he likes to be alone. Sometimes he stares at the sky in a daze, and other times he just pokes at the ground with his fingers. Every now and then, he yells out at the top of his lungs, so a lot of people are really scared of him. but he's a good person, really. I know he is. I swear, he's just like my real grandpa.
Das muss ich mir noch schnell abholen. So, kommen wir wieder hoch. Hier war doch irgendwo so ein... Ist zu weit weg, ne? Mist. Ich hatte gehofft, dass wir nicht von ganz unten wieder hochklettern müssen. Ja, das Ding da meinte ich, aber wir sind zu weit weg. Dass wir da schnell hinspringen können. Na ja, gut, wir sind ja schon wieder oben. Ja, toll, jetzt kommt... Nein, jetzt will ich nicht mehr. Na, hat er nichts mehr zu erzählen? Wo wohnt der denn?
Well, this is where Grandpa usually stays.
There sure isn't much here.
Hm, dieser Geruch? Cyno, riechst du auch Weihrauch?
No.
Was? Nein?
Incense? Please don't say it's the same one as before.
Genau das Ding von früher.
But are you okay? Are you getting dizzy or need to lie down?
There's a scent that you can sense, but I can't.
Ja, eben, das ist ja komisch.
A certain traveler here once passed out from that smell. Thankfully, Tainari saved the day. And then he gave us a long lecture to explain all about how it worked.
So, you know Tainari?
Ja?
Huh? You know him too? Are you two friends?
Yes.
Ach, guck mal einer.
Now that I concentrate, I can also make out the scent of incense.
Wait, surely Tainari didn't lecture you too.
No. No need.
Der Geruch behagt mir nicht.
Did you first encounter this scent at Tainari's house?
Im Wald, in dem eine Gelehrte ihre Ausbildung machte.
In the forest. From a scholar.
Suchen wir nach weiteren Hinweisen.
Oh, where did Grandpa go? Please come home, Grandpa.
Weitere Hinweise in der Nähe. Wie nah? Ah, die Fußspuren sind noch frisch. Ich habe sie doch gerade... Hä? Erstmal was triggern, genau.
What are you looking for, Sign?
Here it is. Take a look right here.
Paimon doesn't see anything.
Although the traces have been completely buried in the sand, there are footprints here, from the size and shape. They belong to an adult male. This pattern is a common one from this area. Local shoes. This was probably someone from the village. The scent is quite faint, but still extant. The footprints head in the direction of the door.
Du meinst, jemand war hier?
But who would come looking for Grandpa? He doesn't have any friends.
Hat der keine lokalen Schuhe?
We'd have to ask whoever lured him away with the incense.
Mit Weihrauch. Weggelockt. So ist das also passiert.
Huh? So you can lure someone away with just a scent?
Beispielsweise, wenn du etwas Leckeres riechst, Paimon.
Hey, what's wrong with liking good food? Everyone's got something they love in life.
Ja, und die mögen Weihrauch, ja. Also zankt nicht.
Exactly. Most scholars are fond of incense, since the smell supposedly helps them clear their minds and discover new knowledge. Even deep within the clutches of madness, they still yearn for their knowledge-seeking days, and will follow the scent whenever it presents itself.
No, Grandpa.
So, someone's taking advantage of their weakness? Huh. Still, why would anyone want to abduct all the scholars?
Der König Deshret wiederbeleben.
Are the rumors really true?
Das ist der einzige Hinweis, den wir momentan haben.
Could the disappearance of all the mad scholars have something to do with the radicals?
It's highly likely.
Please, you have to save my grandpa. Grandpa's never done anything wrong. Please help him.
Sounds like we'd better help get him back. Don't you worry, Isak. We won't let whoever took him get away with it.
Let's head to Aaru village and inform Candace and the others about what we learned here. After that, we'll set off to find the scholars.
Okay. Können wir es ein bisschen beschleunigen? Naja, minimal. Nee, da unten müssen wir nicht hin. Boing.
Right. The darker fabric definitely looks a lot better. That'd be my choice, too.
We're back, Candace! We've got a lot to tell you.
Ah, welcome back.
Sounds like everyone's friends already.
Oh, Dia's here too!
You bet. So, everything goes smoothly?
Reasonably.
Nicht schleicht? Okay.
Alhaitham didn't go with you?
We haven't seen him at all.
Huh. I saw him around the village entrance earlier and figured he was investigating with you. I guess he must have gone off on his own.
Did you find out anything useful?
Was sind eure Errungenschaften?
I see. So someone used a kind of incense to lead the exiled scholars away from the village.
The resurrection of the Scarlet King? First I've heard of it. Far as I know, the kind of incense you just mentioned is only popular beyond the wall. Scholars are fond of it, but as you can see, there aren't many scholars still studying around these parts. No seller would be able to make a profit here. Not to mention making incense is a labor-intensive process. You won't see anybody in the desert with the patience to make or sell something that requires that kind of effort. It seems someone from beyond the wall must have been supporting this.
Makes sense.
So what should we do then? Do we go back to the academia and search for leads there?
If it was any other day, that would be your next logical step. But today, you've got me on your team.
Yay!
So you get an extra tip.
Team Daya.
Didn't you say that the villager got his news from the tavern? Well, I also like to drink at the tavern, so I know a thing or two about these radicals he mentioned.
If Paimon remembers correctly, the leader of the radicals is some guy called Delavar.
Ah, yeah. Delavar, the scar-riddled bandit, Engur, the wide-eyed butcher, and Jabari, the duck-tailed bearded crook. The whole lot of them are known around these parts.
Okay, pass mal auf. Und Jabari hat nicht mal einen Bart. Habe ich einige der Namen schon einmal woanders gehört?
These guys have one thing in common, and that's being broke. The rougher life gets, the more they want to believe in the Scarlet King. Way they see it, the Scarlet King's resurrection is their only chance at overthrowing the academia.
Das kommt mir irgendwie bekannt vor.
Throwing all of Sumeru into chaos is the only way to change the way of life here in the desert. Anyway, that's my guess why they've chosen to become radicals.
Das kommt mir bekannt vor.
Amazing! You really know this place inside and out.
Der. Wie? Der hat mir zugezwinkert. Ist jetzt der falsche Moment, um Fragen zu stellen.
No merc can afford to slack off on gathering intelligence. Every more I've spent in the tavern has been a valuable investment.
Let's head out.
Now hold on, you're staying right here, Cyno.
Why?
Aaru village is not a big place. Outsiders stand out here like a sore thumb. I'd bet word about you has already gotten out. The desert is unforgiving, so the way of life here is also a lot tougher than on the outside of the wall. You survive on making connections out here. But compared to you, mercs like me are just third-rate amateurs. I've got no actual fighting skills to speak of. But that also makes it a whole lot easier for me to gain the locals' trust. I need to go around and ask some questions, but it'll be difficult if you're with me.
Fine.
Good, then we've got a plan. The Traveler and Paimon will go to Karawanen-Ribat with me, and we'll try our best to figure out where the mad scholars have been taken. Cyno, you'll have to stay in the village and continue investigating on your own.
All right, sounds like a plan.
Oh, das ist ziemlich weit. Ich wollte jetzt einfach rüberrennen. So, wo ist... Achso, ich hatte ja gesagt, der ist wahrscheinlich da ganz oben irgendwo. Wie auch immer ich da hinkommen kann. Nervt mich halt, dass ich nicht drankomme. Und der mir wieder so unter die Nase gerieben wird. So, wo müssen wir hin? Nach Karawanen-Ribat zurück. Okay. Das geht ja flott. So.
Well, here we are again.
Hallöchen.
Sounds like you're starting to get familiar with the area.
Naja, geht so.
Paimon's amazed every time we see the wall of Samiel. How can a wall this tall even exist?
I know what you mean. I had the same question every time I walked this way when I was a kid.
Sieht zumindest nicht aus, als wäre das menschengemacht.
Also, why is this high wall here? And can a wall really block sandstorms?
Ist die Mauer.
It was only after I grew up that I realized the wall of Samiel isn't just there to keep out the sandstorms. It serves a more important purpose, keeping out people like us. Sumeru is run by wise and mighty sages. To them, us desert dwellers are nothing but tools that can be used and discarded at their whim. We're cheap labor, like livestock, but easier to control. Even if a child from the desert got the chance to obtain an Akasha terminal, almost all their requests for knowledge would be denied. The academia believes we're underserving. Geniuses like Sataria are 1 in a million. The other children never get a single chance to try and rewrite their fate. Even though the academia knows very well that we're humans, just as they are.
That's terrible.
I would tear down this wall with my own hands if I could.
Obwohl ich ihre Laune nur zu gut verstehe, aber sie darf hier kein Aufsehen erregen.
Hey, Dia. You're not thinking about doing anything scary, are you?
No, not at all. This place just gets me thinking, that's all. Besides, we're here to procure information, aren't we?
Yep, we gotta catch those...
Shh. Karawanen-Ribat is crawling with people, so be careful what you say. We don't want anyone to find out what we're here for. Our mission started the moment we arrived here. Let's go check out the tavern. Maybe we'll find someone I know.
Fragt erst Bekannte nach Hinweisen. Na gut, wer auch immer das sein mag. Aber immerhin, ich habe mich ja vorhin beschwert, ne, dass die Städte nur so zur Deko da sind. Immerhin ein bisschen Quest findet hier statt, aber ja.
Just our luck. None of them are here today.
You mean, you don't see anyone you know?
Dia, is that you? What a coincidence. You here for a drink too?
Zaki. Finally, a friendly face.
Oh, and who do you have with you here? Guests from another land?
Hallo.
Hello. I'm Zaki. Dia's, how would you put it? Drinking buddy?
Ja, und du bist jetzt schon angetrunken, glaube ich.
We've had drinks together a few times. You could say we go back a ways. Anyway, as far as my friends here, they aren't too shabby, are they? You rarely see any Outlanders so friendly and respectful nowadays.
Absolutely. Much better than those people on the other side of the wall. So, Dia, are you looking for someone?
Yeah. Have you seen Endcard, Delavar, or Jabari recently?
Of course I have. Matter of fact, we were all here drinking together just a few days ago.
Das ist deine Lieblingsbeschäftigung den ganzen Tag lang, oder?
I've got a spice trading deal from another nation. I thought maybe Delavar and his friends might be interested. Know where I could find him?
Ah, how thoughtful of you. Then I assume you also know that Delavar's been having a hard time making ends meet these days. So, you came here to help him out?
Hey, keep it down. Let's just say I prefer to keep this deal a secret. Y'all at Caravan-Ribat are like family. If there's more to be made, why not do it together?
Yes, how considerate of you. Delavar's my friend too, so of course I can take you to him. Come with me.
Okay. Ist das weit weg? Ah, auf jeden Fall eher hinlaufen als teleportieren. Dieser Wal, ja, genau. Dieser Wall, der sieht jetzt nicht aus, als wenn Menschen den irgendwie gemacht hätten. Das sieht eigentlich eher wie eine natürliche Formation aus, oder? Hm.
Are we there yet?
Sind wir schon da?
Yep, this is the place.
This place is practically deserted. What are they doing in a place like this?
Why don't you take a guess? Go on. A wild stab in the dark. You're like lambs to the slaughter.
Das ist aber nicht nett.
Oh no! It's an ambush!
What's this all about, Zaki?
Come on, Dia. You really think we didn't hear about what you said back in Aaru village? The boys have kept a close eye on you from the moment you set foot there. Not only do I know that you're looking for Delavar, I also know that you've teamed up with people from the Academia to look for the missing scholars.
So, you've been watching us from the very beginning?
Uh-oh. I knew leaving Cyno behind was a mistake!
And you left the strongest one in the village, didn't you? Who do you think you are? You really thought we'd fall for your little business deal nonsense?
So you and Delavar have been partners all along.
Dia, I guess it's only natural for a traveling mercenary like you to be out of the loop. Those of us who hang around the tavern have stronger bonds than you think. But you got one thing right. We're all looking forward to an uprising in Sumeru. There's nothing more we'd like to see than the desert folk overthrowing the Academia.
Ja, gut.
If that's the case, then I'm sure Delavar wouldn't miss a second of it.
I'll be honest with you. If it weren't for what you said in the village, your little monologue about the Wall of Samiel would have convinced me that you're one of us.
Delavar.
Ach so.
And Engar. You're here too, huh?
Wo ist der Typ mit dem Bart?
Long time no see, Miss Mercenary. You should have known the traitors are what us followers of the Scarlet King despise the
Du hast schon mal keinen Bart, aber du bist auch Engur.
I thought that you, a fellow desert dweller, would understand that the Scarlet King is greater than the Dendro Archon. Little did I know, you don't deserve to join us.
Yeah, gee, what a missed opportunity. Adopting radical views and kidnapping innocent scholars, all because of some baseless rumors.
See? There you have it. Mercenaries are just a bunch of faithless scum with only one thing on their minds.
You're not wrong. Mercenaries are driven by Mora, and my faith lies with whoever's paying me. As long as there's a profit to be made, anyone can become my friend.
Enough talking! Get him!
Ich sehe keinen mit einem Bart. So.
Just as I expected. Let's teach him a lesson, traveler.
Ich hab's doch gesagt.
New
punch. My blade. Submit for judgment.
Midnight Phantasmagoria!
Ring cutter.
Sonst noch wer? Nein? Gut.
Impossible! possible? How could you?
So, what do you think
Pures
about your
Können.
meticulous network now, Zaki? How did you say it? It's only natural for a traveling mercenary like me to be out of the loop. I'm guessing your informant told you that I'm just an incompetent merc with no real fighting skills, correct? I mean, that is what I said after all. And of course you would believe everything he reported. The only thing you know about me is that I'm a mercenary, but you've never seen me in action.
Also, eigentlich würde ich unter einer Söldnerin halt eine Kämpferin verstehen. So, ganz automatisch.
Even though you heard we went to handle monsters together, you believed that Candace was the only one doing all the real fighting. That so-called Flame Mane is just a fraud. She admitted it herself. She just uses her connections to gain the trust of others. That's what you thought, right?
You lied in the village because you figured that we'd have people watching you.
And you were stupid enough to fall for it. I figured as much the first time we drank together. You all thought you were so smart. Pathetic. Okay, that should be all of them.
Whoa! So you've been planning this since we were in Aaru Village?
No task can be done without preparation. I just happened to notice a couple suspicious-looking people while you were out investigating.
Oh, but instead of catching them right away, you let them report back.
Those two who were snooping around were just a couple small fries. If we want to get the real catch, we have to be patient and give it some time.
Also diese Namen, die du erwähnt hast.
Oh, you mean the funny name she mentioned back in Uncle Ampu's house? The wide-eyed butcher, scar-riddled bandit.
Und der mit dem Bart halt.
That's just a bunch of drunk talk. Edgar and Delavar like to talk themselves up when they're drinking. Edgar, the wide-eyed butcher, and Delavar, the scar-riddled bandit, are the nicknames they came up with for themselves.
Okay.
Alcohol has a way of making people share what they really think. So Edgar and Delavar are always rambling in the tavern about how the Scarlet King is a superior deity.
What about Zaki?
He's just a numbskull who fell right into our trap. Zaki was probably the best hidden
Ach so,
of them all.
okay.
My initial plan was to find Delavar first, and then
Genau.
try to track him down.
Oh, und der Bärtige mit Krummsäbel?
That's what you wanted to ask when we were at Uncle Anpu's house, right? Jabari is one of the villagers you talked to. You know, the one who wanted to treat Isak and his grandpa to some food.
Wait, so he's a radical too?
No,
Okay.
he isn't. I just needed to tack on a random villager name to make the eavesdropper think that I was making some wild guesses based on my impressions.
Wow, what a genius idea! Well, that's an expert mercenary for you.
Ah, you're too kind. It was straight from the usual playbook, if I'm honest.
So, that thing you were saying before, is it really true?
About what?
Ja,
About
was?
how mercenaries only care about Mora, and that anyone's a friend as long as there's a profit.
Warum nicht?
Does that bother you?
Ich finde, du gehörst nicht zu dieser Sorte Mensch.
What makes you so sure?
Es gibt keinen Auftraggeber, aber du hast trotzdem das Richtige getan.
Dia, do you dislike the Dendro Archon like the other desert folk?
You two are pretty sharp. No, I don't have anything against the Dendro Archon. I've heard a lot of nice things about the Lesser Lord from Dunyarzad. I can understand her devotion and gratitude. Dunyarzad's just an ordinary person. There's no way a god would be so involved in the lives of everyday people, unless they were truly compassionate. I've begun to realize that the sages are behind everything that's happened recently. The radicals' blind belief in the Scarlet King, making the Dendro Archon out to be an enemy. It's all the Academia's trickery. But I see through it all. And unlike them, I can never be hostile towards anyone who's never done anything wrong.
Dia.
Anyway, looks like we're done with business here. Traveler, lend me a hand. Let's tie him up and bring him to the village.
Okay. Einfach mal so eingesackt, unter den Arm geklemmt und zack rüber. So geht das.
This should be all of them. I'll let you take it from here.
All right. I'll be in touch. Until then, please stand by.
Candace, do you need any help?
Candace will be okay on her own. I trust her, so you can too. She's been guarding Aaru Village for quite some time now. If anyone is qualified to question the offenders, it's her.
Tut mir jetzt schon leid.
While I'm questioning them, why don't you pass some time by exploring the area?
I'll meet you back here tomorrow morning, traveler.
Alles klar.
As for these idiots, let's just hope they live to see another day.
Was? Ey! Menschenrechte und so. 6 bis 12 Uhr. Errungenschaft. Mist.
Hey, Dia!
Hey, Dia, wir kommen? Und sie sagt nur, hey, Dia. Was?
Right on time.
Irgendwelche Ergebnisse?
We'll know any moment now.
Paimon's been wondering. You seem to know Candace pretty well. Have you been friends for a long time?
We've known each other for some time now. She's a pretty interesting person. Even though she's an extremely strong warrior, she never misuses her powers against others.
Oh, Paimon knows what you mean. Like a lot of martial artists say, never take the fight outside the ring.
Yep, I guess you can put it that way. It takes strong convictions to be as dedicated as she is, and shoulder that kind of responsibility. Us mercs, on the other hand, we pretty much live from one day to the next.
Well, Paimon thinks you're great, too.
Really? Thanks for that.
Oh, Cyno's here, and he's pretty early, too.
Yes, I was here yesterday to help out a little.
To help out? By doing what?
Sharing some interrogation techniques.
Seine Verhörtechniken will ich auch nicht wissen.
Oh, you mean you taught Candace some more persuasive methods?
So ungefähr vermutlich.
Right.
Come on in, everyone.
Oh Gott,
Come on,
leben sie noch?
let's go inside.
Candace, where? Whoa, you look furious.
Do I? Huh. What gave it away?
Oh, there's no mask that can hide true bloodlust. Cover up your eyes, and it'll still show itself at the corners of your mouth.
Perhaps I need to work on my composure. Still, it's perfectly understandable why I'm angry. I'm sure everyone present would agree.
Yes, ma'am. Please, don't beat us anymore. We're gonna die.
Well, looks like Cyno taught her well.
Oh, Candace ist jetzt ein Profi.
You
Das ist
fear
super.
death yourselves, yet you do not hesitate to place the lives of others at risk. The absurdity is mind-boggling. The ones you call mad scholars are known to us as the Village Keepers. They are vital members of our community, and some even count them as family. You come here, to my village, and you treat my people as nothing more than stepping stones towards your goal. Tell me, what would you do to you in my position?
Mercy! Please, have mercy!
You've made your bed.
We may both be desert dwellers, but there is one thing that I understand better than you. The resurrection of the Scarlet King will only result in war. And war serves no one. The people of Aaru Village care little about which god is in power. Life may be tough and tiring, but a war would only cause us to lose all that we have. And that is not a responsibility that you can afford to shoulder.
We understand. We're sorry. I'll tell you everything I know. Please, just let us go.
I'm listening.
You might not believe this, but it wasn't us who came up with this idea. Someone was spreading rumors in the tavern. That's how we ended up hearing about the Scarlet King's resurrection.
Ja, trotzdem habt ihr selbst angezettelt, also,
Mystery Man told us that mad scholars will make the perfect sacrifice to usher in the Scarlet King's resurrection. They give their lives, and we can get anything we wish for.
Und wenn euch jemand erklärt, ihr müsst von der Brücke springen, damit König Deshret aufersteht, dann hüpft ihr sofort, oder?
They're called Village Keepers. Slip up again, and you'll regret it.
Yes, sorry. It was all that mystery man's doing. He told us to spread word about the Scarlet King's resurrection and talked us into helping him. In return, he said he'll help facilitate the resurrection process.
Wo sind die Dorfwächter?
I'm not sure.
That's one.
Eins.
Huh? One what?
Strike. You get a total of 3. Then, you die by my hand.
Der Typ ist so gruselig.
Wait, I'm telling the truth. We don't know anything. It was all him.
2.
He got us to lure them out of their houses in the night with some kind of incense. We take them to a junction outside the village. Then the mystery guy takes them from there. You gotta believe me, please. I'm telling the truth, I swear. Just ask them if you don't believe me.
That was indeed the truth. Traveler, go on.
Hast du einen Verdacht zur Identität des Unbekannten?
You have to believe me. If I knew that, I would have told you his name right away. I'm not risking another beating to keep his secrets. No way. That guy, he wears a cloak, and he's always careful to cover his face. He calls himself the Scarlet King's envoy.
I believe I may know what's going on.
Uncle Anpu?
Was jetzt? Oh.
Okay, speak.
Ich hoffe, er hat sie nur ausgenockt.
If my suspicions are correct, this mystery man they speak of could be from the academia. Some time ago, people from the academia attempted to take the village keepers away. I refused, insisting that they are part of our community. It strikes me now that this secretive character shares the same goal they had.
Which means it's highly likely that the academia was purposely spreading a false rumor to trick the radicals into delivering the village keepers right into their hands. They were the ones who brought them here to begin with. Now they're trying to take them back? We aren't gonna let that happen.
Not the academia again.
Setari hat im Zuhörer auch gesagt, dass die Akademie die Gerüchte zur Auferstehung des König Deshret verbreitet.
Just as I thought. But what could they want with the village keepers?
People are nothing but tools in the eyes of the academia. A change in their plans likely means they found another way to exploit the scholars. Regardless, our top priority now is locating the village keepers.
You're right. Isak is still waiting for news on his grandpa.
Time to go. Let's leave the village and try to track them down.
Yes. Pack up and get ready to leave.
You got it. Candace, I'll let you deal with the radicals. Leave everything outside the village to us.
All right.
Let's meet back here once everyone's ready.
Okay. Subauftrag, mehr oder weniger. Heulen aus dem Eleazarkrankenhaus. Verlasse das Haus. Okay, machen wir. Ah.
Let's get some food in us and then we'll... Whoa!
Ja, Essen, klar.
Where did you come from?
Well, as you can see, I am merely sitting here and reviewing what we have deduced thus far.
Ja, natürlich.
You were gone for ages, and now you're suddenly sitting here musing to yourself?
Der kommt,
Where have you been anyway?
der kommt irgendwie immer aus dem Nichts.
Hey, what's with the silence?
You never think things through before asking questions. I'm giving you some time to make up for that.
Paimon's so mad. Paimon's gonna give you an ugly nickname.
Mach nur, ich halte ihn nicht auf.
Never mind. Paimon's got nothing. There's just nothing super obvious to pick with this guy.
Well, you've heard nothing to suggest I left this whole time. So clearly, I stayed in the village to investigate. Anyway, you plan to leave Aaru village and keep searching for the truth of this matter, yes?
Ja, das wäre nett.
Yep. We're not gonna find out anything more by staying here. Enough with the silent treatment!
Willst du uns Zeit geben, noch einmal drüber nachzudenken?
No. I'm just surprised that you decided to team up with him.
Alhaitham, you haven't helped us out at all ever since we arrived at Aaru village. Bold of you to question our choices.
Ja, stimmt.
Yeah, you're all talk.
While you were investigating,
Ich würde es klug scheißen nennen, aber gut, klug reden ist auch nett.
To be honest, we aren't really a team, so I have no obligation to inform you of my whereabouts. Not to mention that going separate ways allowed me to find some important information that you all had missed.
Ah, immer raus damit.
Huh? Right here in the village?
Correct.
What did you learn?
I'm going to take you to someone. But before that, you need to understand where she's coming from.
What does that mean?
How do you think the residents of Aaru village feel about what we're doing?
Keine Ahnung. Da sind ein paar nette neue Leute, die helfen uns.
In other words, do you truly believe every single word the villagers tell us?
You mean some of them lied to us?
Hiding the truth does not necessarily equate to lying. Again, these people have their reasons. Remember what Gandis said? Most people in Aaru village don't necessarily care which deity is in charge of Sumeru. That's because whether the Scarlet King or the Dendro Archon has power is of little significance to them. By contrast, the perils of their daily lives are ever-present concerns. They won't simply share everything they know with you without good reason. That's why you believed there was no further information to be found in this village.
Der Hinweis liegt also bei jemandem, den wir kennen.
Glad you're following along. Among those you have talked to, there's someone who was consciously keeping you out of the loop. In fact, she's been observing your every move since you arrived. The reason being, to someone who only wants to live their life in peace, any external factors introduce unpredictability into the equation.
So.
Those eyes, those fierce eyes. You look like a real fighter.
Don't change the subject.
It's quite obvious that she's intimidated by Cyno's authority and strength.
Right. You were asking about the mad scholars.
She corrected herself mid-sentence because she's aware that there are Scarlet King fanatics in the village. If she sounds too friendly towards the village keepers, she could easily make herself the radicals' next target.
I think it's been a few days since I last saw them. I usually go to bed pretty early, so I'm not too familiar with what goes on at night.
Remember? She made a point of denying her involvement in anything that occurs at night.
But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they act a little strange, they've helped me in the past. If it weren't for them, my house would have collapsed long ago.
After speaking to the village chief, it became clear that the village keepers had protected Aaru village at night. In other words, the young miss was very much awake during that time.
Then why would she lie?
By getting involved with an outsider, she risks drawing unwanted attention to herself. As for why she might be so wary about all this, maybe you should ask her.
I'll pass on this one. You said that she is afraid of me. If so, it's best if I stay out of this.
Ja, vielleicht.
We're on it.
Das ist dann vielleicht besser. So. Wo ist sie denn hin? Ach, jetzt gehen wir auch noch... Okay. Ah ja, wenigstens klopfen
Miss
wir
Shawnee,
höflich.
As we discussed earlier, I've brought someone with me.
Mr. Alhaitham, I'm aware of where you stand, but how can I make sure that your friends think the same as you?
Huh? What do you mean? We need to clarify our stance or something?
Go ahead and talk to her. You'll get the answers you want. Go on. Earn her trust.
Is it really that simple?
May I call you Traveler?
Klar. Hallo, Fräulein Shani.
Hi, Traveler. I want to ask you something. Do you think the resurrection of the Scarlet King can truly change Sumeru for the better?
Nein.
Why's that?
Denn sie bringt Krieg.
That's very similar to what Miss Candace says. I know you two are friends. That's why I'm willing to talk to you, even though I do have some reservations. Before, I wouldn't even have the courage to ask something like this. Traveler, do you believe our lives will get better?
Was weiß ich? Ist euer Land. Ich kann es nicht versprechen, aber ich tue mein Bestes.
Yeah, we came here from another nation, so it isn't wrong of you to be weary. And we aren't really residents of any one nation. But even so, we've met lots of people from different places, and we've always fought for what we believed in. We have friends in Sumeru, and we want to help them. That's why we decided to stay here for a while.
I want to trust you. My apologies for posing my questions like that. To be honest, I didn't expect you to come back for more information.
Alhaitham told us you have your reasons. It's okay. We understand.
The fact is that only one side of my family is desert folk. I don't really fit in anywhere in Sumeru. Some believe in the Dendro Archon, while others believe in the Scarlet King. I don't belong to either side.
Speaking of which, the radicals mentioned that they despise traitors. Do they just think that anyone who's different from them is a traitor?
Yeah. Some people can be so narrow-minded when it comes to bloodline and beliefs. It makes no difference what I say or how I behave. I'll always be suspected of having ulterior motives. Slowly, I just stopped talking to people. I pretended not to hear or see anything. All I want is to live my life in peace. And then it happened. The village keepers who had helped me disappeared with no explanation, and I didn't dare breathe a word about it to anyone. Until now.
You can tell them. I'm sure she'll keep your secret.
All right. I'll tell you what I told Alhaitham. I actually have a sharper sense of hearing than most. Sometimes, I hear strange crying sounds in the night.
There are ghosts?
Perhaps. I'm not sure. It's faint, but it's definitely the sound of crying. It comes from far away in the distance, and always carries very raw emotion. It used to be louder and more frequent, but ever since you arrived in the village, it doesn't seem to happen as often, and when it does, it's much quieter. I have to focus really hard to make it out.
I confirmed this with the guards on night duty. They also have someone with a good ear, and he's heard similar sounds at night. But because we're in the middle of a desert, he would rather believe that they are the cries of beasts than ghosts.
Kannst du bestimmen, wo das Geräusch herkam?
There's really nothing around these parts, except for an old hospital not far from the village.
I think they used to use it for treating Eleazar, but it's been abandoned for years.
Wir müssen zu diesem Krankenhaus.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Das wäre dann das titelgebende Krankenhaus. Ach du meine Güte. Das ist ja meilenweit weg. Gut. Gleich mal noch einen Teleport hier freischalten. Das ist doch schon mal was. Jetzt müssen wir direkt hier durch. Ja, okay. Nee. Was wollte ich denn? Ich wollte mal hier eben bei den Errungenschaften gucken. So, Wunder der Welt. Schließ Luftschlösser, Illusionen und Betrug ab. Haben wir getan. Fliegt ja im Zickzack hier rum. Eintrag zu das leblose Dar al-Shifa ins Handbuch hinzugefügt. Naja, besonders toll sieht es hier nicht aus, das stimmt allerdings. Das sind aber Leute. Okay, mit euch legen wir uns das jetzt. Oder wir legen uns mit euch an von hier aus. Steht. Wo kommst du denn jetzt her?
Witness the power of Gugwa.
Welche? Wo denn? Irgendwer ist auf... Hä? Was auch immer. Da ist auch ein... Dendroculus.
A valiant endeavor.
Oh, is this the place? It's in terrible shape. And there's sand everywhere.
Ja, das kommt
Empty
vor
and
in der
forgotten.
Wüste.
An ideal place to hide people.
Rain outlines your fate.
A touch of frost.
No, my sword.
Spirit blade. Attack.
I'll be back.
So. Eigentlich wollte ich doch nur da hoch. Na? Komme ich von hier irgendwie weiter? Ah, ja doch, da. Ah, nee, da ist was im Weg. Was ist denn da unten? Da ist es grün, da ist der Dendroculus.
Monsters, watch out!
Welche Monster? Wie komme ich hier wieder raus? Ah, hier. So, wo sind Monster? Welche Monster? Ach, die Monster. Ach Gott. Aua!
Rain cutter.
Oz, reveal thyself!
Da kommen ja noch mehr. Droppen nix. Schade. Du sollst schon da schießen. Peng. So.
A touch of frost.
So. Und Ruhe. Nicht? Ja, okay.
Whence you came.
Rain outlines your fate.
Midnight Phantasmagoria.
Erledigt.
They were easier to deal with than Paimon had expected.
Was für eine Art Gegner hast du denn erwartet?
Super strong bandits? Or monsters taller than buildings dropping out of the sky?
Ja.
Or, you know.
Mhm. Das Übliche.
He looks super serious. We gotta stay on our A game too.
This is the one.
Mhm. Wo ist da jetzt aufgegangen?
Let's go in and take a look.
Sieht eher leer aus.
Alhaitham, we haven't found squat. Are you sure we aren't wasting our time here?
Patience. Shawnee says she only hears the crying at night. We have time to burn. Until then.
Bis dahin was?
I'm taking a break.
And just like that, he sits down. What are you reading? Let Paimon see.
Okay, sure.
Huh? The natural position, which is the positional propensity of an entity in natural motion, in contrast with an object in forced motion? Huh?
So, you got that?
Oh, Paimon gives up. You keep reading your book. See ya.
Oh.
How is he so relaxed? Look at him, reading an impossible book in a creepy place like this.
Vielleicht sollte ich das Lesen und Schreiben beibringen, Paimon.
Hey, Paimon's your Tibet travel guide. Paimon knows plenty of useful stuff already. And anyway, it's not Paimon's fault that the books people read in Sumeru are so complicated.
Ja, ist gut. Palme ist ganz toll und brav. So.
Paimon's getting so sleepy. Huh? What was that sound?
Ich höre nix.
There it is.
Doch so ein ganz kleines bisschen vielleicht.
It's coming from that direction.
Is the sound coming from here? Huh. Paimon's not seeing anything.
Jetzt höre ich was.
It's from below.
But there's no way we can get down there.
Und warum machen die nur nachts Krach?
Something is off about the interior here. As I thought, there's a hidden structure.
Wow. It's like they tucked another hospital into this one.
Und diese Falltür hätten wir jetzt nicht finden können, bevor wir nicht das Geheule mitten in der Nacht gehört haben, oder wie? Wenn es so viel Zeit gab, hätten sie auch suchen können.
Let's keep exploring.
Untersuche ihr Inventar stehlen in der Umgebung des Krankenhauses. Okay, Moment. Ich habe hier so viel Glitzern sehen, das muss ich jetzt erstmal nur essen. Oh! Da brauche ich einen Schlüssel für. Okay. So, hier ist noch eine Stele. Moment. Da brauchen wir jemanden mit Dendro.
Everything's ready. Let's go.
Eines. Oh, die ist blockiert. Da sind doch sicher Monster drumherum.
I'll bring my sis.
Ja.
One with my blade. Spirit blade. Attack!
Huh? No, my sword! Witness the power.
Wings of darkness. Come, sever night from day.
Noch mehr! Ey!
Fourth, my blade.
Ring cutter.
Submit for judgment.
Trainee Forest Ranger.
Na? Heilung. Danke. Eine Stele. Ja, lieber wir das Team richtig zusammenstellen. Wer weiß, was da kommt. Na, wo ist sie? Da. So, und wo ist noch einer? Da hinten? Ne, die habe ich schon aktiviert. Da oben? Vielleicht sehen wir von da oben auf jeden Fall was. Ach, da ist doch eine. Okay. Hey, euch habe ich auch noch nicht.
I'll ensure you're safe.
So, und dann haben wir jetzt da drin hoffentlich die Türen aufgemacht. Ich hoffe, das war zumindest das Ziel der ganzen Aktion. Okay, das sieht gut aus. Patient Abbas, männlich, 23 Jahre alt, hat ein Muttermal an der linken Schädelseite, ist linkshändig. Da der Krankheitszustand weiterhin überaus ernst ist, schwebt in akuter Todesgefahr. Ohne Behandlung durch einen Spezialisten ist das Leben des Patienten. Sobald dies entdeckt wird, muss sofort eine Benachrichtigung erfolgen. Du darfst die Hoffnung nicht aufgeben und musst optimistisch bleiben. Wisse, dass alle unter dem Blick der Götter stehen und gib auf keinen Fall auf. Aufgrund des hohen Alters des Dokuments und des damit einhergehenden schlechten Zustands ist der restliche Text nicht entzifferbar. Ernähre dich gut, mache regelmäßig Ruhepause und bleibe bei guter Stimmung. Montag Minzbohnensuppe, Tahin Mittagessen, Currygarnelen, Panipuri Abendessen. Dienstag Salat, Biryani Mittagessen, Fisch in Milchsoße, Kartoffelbrot Abendessen. Mittwoch Shakshuka, Bohnenreiskuchen Mittagessen. Der Rest ist leer. Mahlzeiten dieser Woche. Aha, schön. Wundervoll. In einer Notfallsituation bitte sofort den am jeweiligen Tag diensthabenden Arzt verständigen. Montag Ibrahim, Dienstag, Mittwoch Amudi. Der Rest ist leer.
Look, there's someone over there.
Sei vorsichtig.
Good idea. Let's approach him slowly without alarming him.
Wait. You're...
He can't speak, and his eyes are unfocused. But he looks too young to be anyone's grandfather. Also, why is he the only one here?
Didn't expect to see him here.
You know him?
He's Razak, a senior of mine at the academia.
He's a scholar too? Is he the kind that holes up in a forest and mumbles stuff about training?
No. And that's the problem. Razak was never involved in any of those things. He never trained in the forest, let alone reach Satyavada life.
Wie konnte denn das mit ihm passieren?
Leaving that question aside for the moment, him being here alone means that we might be too late. Looks like they've already taken everyone away.
Hallo Kratorio.
For whatever reason,
Oh, vielen Dank für dein
Razak
Abo.
here.
Dankeschön.
Perhaps they simply didn't have time to come back for him. There are drag marks on the ground. They're clearer by the doorway. Someone was forcefully drawing a cart that was loaded with something heavy.
Loaded with people?
That is one possibility. It looks like they were in a hurry, as if they were afraid of being caught. The symptoms are identical. Looks like we found living proof.
Huh? Why do you say that?
Allow me to jog your memory. Recall your time at Port Ormos.
Story schon durch, aber interessant, deine zu sehen. Okay. Ja, mal gucken, ne, was sich hier so noch ergibt.
Don't you think his symptoms look familiar?
Der Verrückte von der Goldbrigade.
Oh, now that you mention it, they're acting the same way.
Correct. The academia is behind all of this. It isn't difficult to deduce their rationale. First, the academia spread a false rumor of the Scarlet King's resurrection, emphasizing the role of the village keepers, the mad scholars who were exiled to Aaru village.
Wie fandst du die Story bis jetzt von Tsumuru? Ich finde sie auf jeden Fall deutlich besser als Inazuma, finde ich. Ein bisschen, hat mehr Substanz. Fühlt sich ein bisschen dicker und ein bisschen, ja, durchdachter an, als wenn sich da jemand mehr Gedanken drum gemacht hätte, finde ich. Also es gefällt mir bisher ganz gut. Vor allem, es gibt viel so, wo man auch ein bisschen drüber spekulieren kann, was jetzt Sache ist. Das hatte man bei Inazuma zum Beispiel nicht so. Finde ich gut, gefällt mir eigentlich gut. Aber auch ein bisschen verworren. Man muss sich viele, viele Namen merken und alles. Aber gut, das muss im ganzen Spiel.
These rumors were all the persuasion that the radicals needed, and those based in Aaru village leapt into action. As well as being able to exploit the radicals for their own ends, this scheme has one further advantage to the academia. All the risks and responsibilities are offloaded onto the Scarlet King's followers. Life for the desert dwellers has been brutal ever since the Scarlet King's death all those years ago. Beneath the surface, feelings of desperation are widespread. Many would give everything they have for the prospect of something better. Anyone looking to exploit that for their own ends simply needs to make a few empty promises.
Ich habe immer das Gefühl, dass so viel drumherum geredet wird. Aber ansonsten bin ich auch echt zufrieden mit Sumeru. Ja, gut, aber viel Geschwätz und viele, ja, Redepassagen hast du halt bei allen Quests gehabt. Ja, hier wird noch mehr erzählt, aber ich denke, es ist halt einfach, es gibt auch einfach viel zu erklären. Ist halt schwierig. Ja, ich glaube, man könnte es besser lösen, eventuell, aber dann wird sich das ganze Spiel nochmal stärker in die Länge ziehen und ich glaube, das wollen sie einfach vermeiden. Würde ich jetzt mal annehmen.
Even if complications arise, people will see that those involved are all followers of the Scarlet King and look for no further explanation than differences of belief. A deep-seated mistrust of the desert and everyone in it by the rest of Sumeru will make sure of that.
Man könnte vielleicht das Gerede noch ein bisschen durch, keine Ahnung, Rätsel unterbrechen oder irgendwie mehr Kampfpassagen, dass zumindest zwischendurch ein bisschen Abwechslung kommt. Noch ein bisschen Action rein. Das ist tatsächlich, das ist ziemlich lang und es passiert spielerisch relativ selten in der Zeit etwas.
The notion of an academia plot wouldn't even cross their minds. It may seem like a simple strategy, but it is able to work wonders under Sumeru's current circumstances.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. It's in line with the village chief's theory, too. But there's still one very important question. Wasn't it the academia that brought the scholars to Aaru village in the first place? Why does it want them back now?
Gute Frage.
Throughout this process, one thing has changed. First, they were scholars. Then, they became lunatics. After that, they were exiles. And finally, they become missing persons.
Ach so?
An exile is still patently a living, breathing human being. But when someone becomes a missing person, that is brought into question. If you can't find someone, you have no way of knowing what exactly happened to them. That makes missing people an ideal resource.
Resource? For what exactly?
One possibility is that the information in their brains could be extracted into knowledge capsules.
Extracted? You mean knowledge comes from people's brains?
Okay, das ist eine Erkenntnis.
With the technology of the Sumeru Academia, it's entirely possible.
Okay, aber es ist nicht ausschließlich so. Gut.
Perhaps the process caused them great suffering, which is why they cry out in the dead of night, when no one is watching them.
So, the human brain... Nope, nah, Hyman doesn't want to think about this.
Ja, und woher weißt du von dieser Technik?
I'm the Academia scribe, after all. I'm familiar with their projects. Anyway, judging by Razak's state, the contents of a divine knowledge capsule were extracted from his mind. But something went wrong in the process. Or perhaps his curiosity got the better of him, and he used such a capsule for himself.
Ja gut, die Auswirkungen haben wir ja schon mal gesehen.
Hyman's a little confused. Can they just use anyone's brain?
Ich könnte jetzt was Gemeines über Paimon sagen, aber das lassen wir jetzt. Nein, falsch. Die meisten dieser wahnsinnig gewordenen Gelehrten waren im Wald mit der göttlichen Erkenntnis verbunden. Das ist es, was die Akademie will. Man kann sogar sagen, dieses Wissen hat mit den Fatui, Ilde Tore und Scaramouche zu tun. Sie nutzen es, um Scaramouche in einen Gott zu verwandeln.
The look on your face tells me you've realized the answer.
Die Akademie braucht Leute, die mit der göttlichen Erkenntnis in Berührung gekommen sind.
That's right. To some scholars, gaining knowledge about the gods is their entire life's pursuit. Extracting canned knowledge is just one of the extreme measures they turn to. However, I can't help but wonder. The Academia is going out of their way to look for forbidden knowledge. But what is their ultimate goal? I've spent quite some time trying to analyze the contents of the divine knowledge capsule, but to no avail. It seems like my way of thinking is too different from theirs.
You mean you're not even slightly interested in getting your hands on this forbidden stuff?
All scholars seek to expand the horizons of knowledge, but I'm not particularly interested in gods, so I don't share their degree of zealotry. Extracting information from people as if they were lifeless objects? If this is the direction of academic progress, then the academia may as well shut its doors.
Ja, sollen wir helfen?
Sounds like you're really against all this.
Of course. The academia's actions run contrary to their rules. Whether it be academics or knowledge, everything has its boundaries. If those lines are crossed, the rules and order that govern everything in the world will be destroyed. This matter needs to be corrected. Just like fixing a typo in a book.
Wait, didn't you step in to help because you felt sympathy for those poor people?
Not to be callous, but no. There is no shortage of suffering in Sumeru, and the same can be said for the rest of Teyvat as well. What do you plan to do about that?
Probably not. Paimon's not sure.
Deine Absichten sind spezieller und persönlicher.
You can say that. Simply put, I don't blindly place my faith into strength or heroism. I do what I want. The divine knowledge capsule is something I want to investigate in full. That doesn't mean I'm willing to take action for the sake of a few strangers.
Er lehnt zwar höhere Gerechtigkeit und Verantwortung ab, aber er kennt die Logik von den extrem individuellen Handlungen an. So eine Person ist vielleicht gut als Kamerad geeignet.
Paimon's been wanting to say this for a while. There are a lot of bad guys in the academia, but you're not one of them. You're their weirdo.
Du bist der Weirdo, du bist der Sonderling, ja.
You're probably right. Though I must say, I quite enjoy this feeling of being the odd one out. Uniqueness is also an asset, is it not?
Wow, that's a great way to think about it. Paimon's really impressed. If only Miss Shani had a similar mindset, her life would definitely be a lot easier.
I'm just a more likable person than her in general. There's nothing more to it than that.
So, was machen wir jetzt mit dem Kumpel hier? Ja, genau. Und was machen wir mit ihm?
He won't last long if we leave him here. Let's take him with us.
Okay, einmal unter den Arm klemmen, dankeschön.
We'll work out our next step after we return to Aaru Village.
Okay, na gut. Einmal ganz zurück. Hä? Was machst du denn hier? Ist das der Schlüssel? Derjenige welcher? So, hier. Staubiges Geschenk. Auf der Schüssel steht nachfolgender Name. Hakim. Komme ich denn jetzt hier wieder raus? Da. So, hier war doch irgendwo Kommode, genau. Jawohl. Was kriegen wir? Was für Schätze hier wohl zu finden sind? Der Schrank ist voller Hefte. Krankenhausdokumente. Enttäuscht liest ihr den Schrank. Okay. Paimon hat gedacht, dass da drin irgendwelche besonderen Schätze zu finden wären. Und dabei war da weniger drin als in den Holzeimern und Holzkisten, über die wir auf unseren gewöhnlichen Abenteuern stolpern. Dort ist wenigstens Weißkohl und rohes Geflügel drin. Nanu, was ist das denn? Es sieht aus, als wäre es von innen herausgefallen. Paimon schaut sich das mal an. Vielleicht ist das ja ein Hinweis auf einen Schatz. Ach du meine Güte. Name des Patienten Abbas, Geschlecht männlich, Beruf Bauer, Grundzustand bei Einlieferung, Haut an den Extremitäten von schuppenartigen Ausschlag bedeckt, Geschwüre auf dem Rücken, der Brust und anderen Stellen der Körperoberfläche, keine Kraft in den Extremitäten, eingeschränkte Bewegungsfähigkeit, bei klarem Verstand, geistiger Erschöpfung, Schlaf- und Appetitmangel, behandelnder Arzt Amodi. Zustand in der ersten Woche des Krankenhausaufenthalts. Neuer Ausschlag an den Extremitäten, Geschwüre an der Körperoberfläche haben sich ausgeweitet. Der linke Arm scheint fast nicht mehr zu gebrauchen zu sein. Schmerz. Bei klarem Verstand, geistiger Erschöpfung, Schlaf- und Appetitmangel. Behandelnder Arzt Amodi. Zustand in der dritten Woche des Krankenhausaufenthalts. Schuppenartiger Ausschlag hat sich auf der Körperoberfläche ausgebreitet. In mehreren Geschwüren hat Nekrose eingesetzt. Patient im Koma. Behandelnder Arzt Amodi. Zustand in der 9. Woche des Krankenhausaufenthalts. Nekrose in Geschwüren ist unter Kontrolle. Kein neuer Ausschlag auf der Körperoberfläche. Patient im Koma. Behandelnder Arzt unbekannt. Zustand in der 15. Woche. Die Wunde der Ersetzungstherapie ist selbst nach dieser langen Zeit nicht verheilt. Kein neuer Ausschlag auf der Körperoberfläche, Extremitäten ohne Kraft. Patient kann Dinge nicht selbstständig greifen, hat Fieber und erbricht sich. Bei klarem Verstand, geistiger Erschöpfung, Schlafmangel, Nahrungsaufnahme unmöglich. Behandelnder Arzt unbekannt. Zustand in der 21. Woche, Ausschlag auf der Körperoberfläche vorläufig unter Kontrolle. Funktion der neuen Extremität wiederhergestellt. Neue Extremität, okay, chronischer blutiger Husten, Patient neigt zu Ohnmachtsanfällen. Bei klarem Verstand, geistiger Zustand ist gut, Schlaf und Appetit sind gut. Behandelnder Arzt unbekannt. Aha. Aber irgendwie haben sie was gefunden, oder? Ach Gott, das geht ja noch weiter. Patient Abbas, Geschlecht männlich, Beruf Bauer. Behandelnder Arzt unbekannt. Zustand: Nach 20 Behandlungswochen sind die neue Haut und der linke Arm vom Proband 4 gut geheilt. Appetit und Schlaf haben sich nicht gebessert. Die mentale Verfassung fluktuiert außerhalb des Normbereichs. Es kam zu mehreren Versuchen, den Pflegebereich zu verlassen. Als Grund für diese Handlungsweise gab der Proband: Die Stimme des Gottes hat mich geleitet an, was vermuten lässt, dass er wahnhafte Tendenzen hat. Zudem könnte ein Zusammenhang zwischen dieser sogenannten Stimme des Gottes und dem aus der topografischen Struktur der Dünen resultierenden Resonanzphänomen bestehen. Die sollte untersucht werden, um unkontrollierbare Eingangsstörungen auszuschließen. Die Überwachung muss verschärft werden. Behandlungsprogramm. Die zweite Phase der geschwärzten Experimente liefert erste Ergebnisse. Die nächste Phase, MÖP. Ziel, die Organe vom Probanden 4, MÖP. Okay, nach einer umfassenden Untersuchung ist Proband 3 das geeignetste Versuchsmaterial für die dritte Phase der MÖP-Experimente. Vor der Durchführung von MÖP ist es erforderlich, MÖP. Okay. Schön. Im Verlauf des Prozesses sind andauerndes Erbrechen und Haut-MÖP reguläre Begleiterscheinungen. Warum ist das geschwärzt? Vor dem Prozess ist es notwendig, die körpereigenen MÖP vom Probanden 4 vorzubereiten und die Zirkulation von MÖP aufrechtzuerhalten. Nach Abschluss der grundlegenden Schritte im Zusammenhang mit MÖP muss der Proband eine Woche lang unter Beobachtung gestellt werden. Sollte ein normaler Ablauf der physiologischen Aktivitäten der Organe, eine Verminderung der Geschwindigkeit, in der sich der Ausschlag auf der Körperoberfläche ausbreitet und verschlimmert, und die Wiederherstellung der Funktion der Gliedmaße festgestellt werden, dann kann die nächste Phase der MÖP-Experimente erfolgen. Anmerkung des Arztes: Alle Probanden haben eine Gemeinsamkeit. Die Konzentration an Elementen in ihrem Körper ist ungewöhnlich hoch und dies steht in einer Korrelation mit dem Schweregrad der Erkrankung. Nach den MÖP-Experimenten ist die Konzentration der Elemente in den Körpern abgesunken und die Probanden meldeten eine Abschwächung der Krankheitssymptome. Dies führt zu folgender Hypothese: Zwischen der Konzentration an Elementen und der sogenannten Eleazar besteht ein Kausalzusammenhang. Es müssen weitere Kontrollversuche durchgeführt werden, um redundante Faktoren auszuschließen. Hinweis: Der Anreicherungsprozess für Elemente in einem menschlichen Körper ist möglicherweise von dynamischer Natur. Nach dem Abschluss der ersten MÖP-Experimente haben verschiedene Indikatoren der körperlichen Verfassung vom Probanden 1 innerhalb kürzester Zeit in Richtung der Normalwerte tendiert. Im späteren Verlauf ist die Konzentration der Elemente im Körper des Probanden wieder angestiegen, weil MÖP nicht vollständig durchgeführt wurde. Damit einhergehend haben sich auch die Symptome verschlimmert, was dazu führt, dass Proband 1 MÖP, wobei nicht die Möglichkeit bestand, das Versuchsmaterial wieder zu verwerten, verstarb. Gewonnene Erkenntnis: Es müssen Vorkehrungen für langfristige Experimente getroffen werden. Dafür muss man auch mental vorbereitet sein. Bevor sich die Krankheitssymptome eines Probanden nicht stabilisiert haben und unter Kontrolle sind, darf MÖP nicht eingestellt werden. Aufgrund der Natur der Experimente sind Methoden erforderlich, um die emotionale Verfassung der Testobjekte zu stabilisieren. Dazu könnte die Entfernung von MÖP erprobt werden. Okay. Mit der neuen Methode ist die Verlustrate an Versuchsmaterial stark gesunken. Aufgrund ihrer inhärenten Veranlagung und der Assoziation mit MÖP haben die Probanden 2 und 3 die Merkmale einer Geistesstörung entwickelt und tendieren dazu, die Krankheit einer rational nicht zu erklärenden Gottesstrafe zuzuschreiben. Als Folge davon halten sie es für Blasphemie, MÖP als Heilmittel zu verwenden. Okay, das ist ja eine interessante Wendung. Eine sehr interessante Denkweise, die aus einer neuralen Stimulation resultierenden kognitiven Veränderungen zu untersuchen, käme als ein zukünftiges Forschungsthema in Betracht. Aufgrund der oben genannten nicht kontrollierbaren Faktoren konnten sie letztendlich nicht über Phase 2 hinausgehen. Sehr bedauerlich. Doch das Material, das diese beiden Probanden geliefert haben, ist das bisher qualitativ beste Material. Es gibt Grund zu der Annahme, dass es einen Zusammenhang zwischen der Qualität des von diesen beiden Probanden gelieferten Materials und dem perfekten Versuchsablauf von Probanden 4 gibt. Verlauf, nicht Ablauf. Sobald die 3 Phasen des Experiments abgeschlossen sind und die Krankheitssymptome von Probanden 4 vollständig abgeklungen sind, wird es möglich sein, Folgendes zu beweisen. Mittels MERP kann die Konzentration an Elementen in einem menschlichen Körper ohne Rückgriff auf die Elementarkraft kontrolliert werden. Dies hat das Potenzial, zu einer Waffe gemacht zu werden. In Zukunft müssen die Forschung und Diskussion über MERP forciert werden. Menschen haben unbegrenzte Möglichkeiten. Für mich als Forscher könnte es vielleicht töricht sein, etwas derartiges zu schreiben, doch bei einer ausreichend großen Aufnahme könnte man das Niveau des Gottes erreichen, von dem die Testsubjekte sprechen. Aha, okay, da kommt das her. Die wollen ja den Scaramouche anscheinend irgendwie zu einem künstlichen Arkon machen, ne? Das dürfte so die Grundlagenforschung sein. Paimon versteht rein gar nichts. Ist vielleicht besser, dass du das nicht verstehst. Oh, kannst du das verstehen? Paimon hat nur etwas von einer anleitenden Stimme Gottes verstanden. Könnte hier etwa wirklich eine sonderbare Stimme erklungen sein, die die Leute angeleitet hat? Vielleicht waren es unterirdische Wasseradern oder biologische Aktivitäten. Ja genau, vielleicht gibt es im Untergrund ja irgendwelche Ruinen. Wenn wir irgendwelche Geräusche hören, sollten wir uns das genauer ansehen. Okay, das ist wahrscheinlich eine Quest. Nee, auch nicht, bevor ich geboren wurde. Die Leute wollen nicht einmal seinen Namen nennen oder sich daran erinnern, was er sagte und tat. Okay. Dann teleportieren wir jetzt mal zurück, würde ich sagen. So.
We're back!
You must be tired. You should rest and take some water.
What's the situation?
Nur einen komischen Typen im Keller entdeckt.
Who's this?
Der ist uns gefolgt. Dürfen wir ihn behalten?
Unfortunately, somebody who's too young to take on the role of Isak's grandfather. Nevertheless, he's one of the people we're trying to find.
So, at one point in time, the abandoned Eleazar hospital served as the academia's site for extracting divine cant knowledge.
Yep, pretty much.
Their plan must have been implemented at some point before we arrived at Aaru village, since divine cant knowledge has been in circulation for a while now. Yet, they fled once we were headed to the village, almost as if they knew we were on their trail. Why?
Yeah, why is that?
We may have a mole in our midst. One of us could be secretly revealing our whereabouts to the academia.
Huh? Are our friendships that shallow?
Looks like none of you have realized wherein lies the issue.
Hast du es etwa herausgefunden? Nee, hast du etwas herausgefunden?
Cyno, you're the reason why they can predict our movements.
Wait, what's that supposed to mean?
Der verkabelt?
Choose your next words very carefully.
Ist immer so
It
aggressiv.
is simply a logical inference. I have my reasons.
So what you're saying is, Cyno's the mole. Interesting. And here I thought you were the most suspicious one, Alhaitham, since you were always acting alone.
I know. You have a point. But I realized something as we were returning from the hospital. Cyno isn't like any of us.
What are you trying to say?
Do you still remember who you are, General Mahamatra? As a Matra, you are no doubt privy to certain kinds of information. Before you can take action against someone, you are required to have all the facts available, including the less than savory details. Simply put, the academia has traditionally allowed you access to a wealth of sensitive information. Knowing their modus operandi, wouldn't you expect them to take precautions against you? If you want to raise a vicious wolf, you need to make sure that you can avoid its bite.
The academia is monitoring me?
So viel zu sich selbst ins Exil begeben, ne?
It's not that simple. The Academia has eyes all over Sumeru, but they have a special protocol for dealing with you. Every so often comes a Nyagarbaha Day. On this day, the Academia enters new information into the Akasha through knowledge capsules. I remember seeing the thick notebook next to the control panel once. Its contents were all about the General Mahamatra, his activities throughout the day, preferred methods of enacting judgment, everything.
Okay, das ist creepy.
You're saying that the Academia entered my information into the Akasha too? But what's the point in doing that? My actions aren't important enough to be added into the Akasha.
Ja, das denken alle.
The Akasha is capable of computation. The Akasha's algorithms are entirely capable of predicting your movements using the data entered. When you would depart, the route you would follow, your destination.
It predicted my every move.
The Academia has been watching you longer than you think.
Ich finde es gerade interessant, dass sie jetzt diese Erkenntnis tatsächlich hier einbauen. Es ist halt ein chinesisches Spiel.
So that's how it is. Cyno adheres to his principles so strongly that he's actually a thorn in their side. Tenacity of will and steadfast faith are worthless to the Academia. They need scholars who are easily pliable and mindlessly go after anything they can profit from. Cyno, don't take it to heart. This just proves how much of a trustworthy ally you are.
They escaped because of me.
Don't blame yourself. It's not like any of us would have known.
Genau.
I have an idea. If they predicted my movements, then I might be able to guess where they went.
Whoa, you bounced back fast.
There is always an opportunity for safety after danger passes.
Oh, so that's how it is! Paimon gets it now. If the Academia is trying to avoid Cyno, then the safest place would be...
Na, der Ort, an den Cyno gerade war.
Yep, that's
okay.
right.
They'll want to proceed in the direction opposite of where I'm going.
Paimon, du bist immer schlauer.
I must go.
There's also something I want to investigate.
Let's go, guys! After him!
Please, wait! I want to go too.
You want to go too? If so, you have to promise you'll stay safe.
I want to find Grandpa. I promise I'll be careful and not cause any trouble.
Everyone, I leave him in your hands.
Okay, gut.
Yay! Let's go! Remember to pack some food with you. Paimon feels like we're missing someone, though.
Gut, Cyno, okay. Wo ist er denn jetzt hin? Wie komme ich denn da hin? Können wir es uns tracken lassen? Nee. Tja, nicht. Ach, da hinten, okay. Da kommen wir schon irgendwie hin. So, da können wir doch hier... nee. Aber da sind doch noch mehr davon. Ich glaube, wir fliegen einfach rüber. Fertig. Kommen wir in die Nähe? Na? Na? So.
So, where do we go from here?
Cyno, rufe dir deinen bisherigen Weg ins Gedächtnis.
Yes. After leaving the village, we should head straight toward the desert.
I know the desert like the back of my hand.
Aha.
Is that because you play here a lot?
Yep. One time, Grandpa almost got lost in the desert. But I was the one who brought him back.
Wo bist du denn hin, Cyno? Da. Wo willst du denn mit uns hin? Wo ist denn der Teleporter da? Wo? Wahrscheinlich irgendwo oben. Jetzt lauf doch einfach schon mal vor. Ich komm schon hinterher. Mensch.
There's something here. What's this?
It's buried in the sand. Looks like we'll need to roll up our sleeves and do some work.
And Paimon thought running around everywhere was already enough work.
Keine Debatte, Paimon.
Okay. So, we have to dig it out? Whatever's down there looks like it's buried really deep.
These are likely fragments of an academia-developed device, something akin to a headset.
Und das lassen die einfach in der Wüste rumstehen.
Looks like there were more than one village keeper. They must have been escorted this way because there are device fragments scattered around here. Let's split up and search the area. Chances are that we'll find other things nearby.
Besonders gründlich waren die aber nicht.
Is this what we're searching for? It looks kind of scary.
This is definitely a device used to extract divine knowledge.
How did it end up buried in the sand? That can't have been part of the plan.
Nee, nicht wirklich.
They must have been attacked along the way.
Wait, what?
Grandpa, I hope you're okay.
Don't worry. Your grandpa's gonna be fine.
Razak didn't display any signs of starvation or dehydration, which means that they left fairly recently.
We should be able to catch up.
One more thing. Given that the device had been entirely covered by sand, I believe the attack must have happened prior to the sandstorm.
Das glaube ich auch.
Let's keep going.
Glaube ich.
They can't have gone far.
But running on sand is so tiring.
Oh.
But you're flying, aren't you, Paimon? Is flying over sand tiring too?
Of course it is.
Natürlich. Ist wirklich da oben irgendwo Mist. Naja. Cyno? Bist du... Ach, renn doch einfach vor, Junge. Achte nicht auf mich.
Voices, over there. It sounds like an argument.
Whoa, you have really good ears.
Don't get any closer. They'll notice us.
Dia's talking with the Eremites? Very interesting. Let's listen in.
If you had informed me sooner, there'd be
Aha.
plenty of room for us to...
You're one of us. We would never lie.
Scholars. You don't know as much as I do. Need me to...
I knew it. That's our Dia.
Aha. Der wir am meisten vertraut haben hier.
Why would you... Dia!
Oh, Kind.
Hey, what are you doing?
Huh? Didn't you say you'd help me find Grandpa? Why are you on their side?
Well, look who's here.
This complicates things.
You've betrayed Aaru village.
So, this is the great General Mahamatra. Dear, you'd be better off as my assistant than hanging around with this motley crew. Seen for yourself. I have the means and methods, and my ideals are far more admirable than theirs.
I'm not the type that's easily swayed, Raman. You of all people should know that.
Wait, what's going on, Dia? Whose side are you on here?
Ja, das frage ich mich jetzt auch.
Shut it, Paimon.
It doesn't matter. Whichever side you pick, nothing could deter us from the grand mission of resurrecting the Scarlet King. Once our Lord of Old returns to this land, we will have a new beginning.
Face the facts, Raman. It's not gonna happen. You should understand that more than anyone. Have all your years as a merc taught you nothing about placing hopes in a ruler?
I'm a desert dweller and a proud follower of the Scarlet King. Whether I live by the edge of the sword or in peaceful comfort, my soul will always carry.
It's not too late yet. The village mad scholars aren't gonna bring the Scarlet King back to life.
You don't understand, my dear lady. Pursuing our faith is our purpose in life. Even if the chance of success is 1 in a million, we must be willing to give everything we have.
Even if it'll expose you to the academia? Even if they end up disbanding the Eremites? Your Eremites, which you've worked so hard for all these years?
Yes. We've waited a long time for this day to come. The sun and the moon no longer shine here. All you see now is cracks in this desiccated land. But fate has finally dealt me a hand. With these scholars in our custody, we'll stomp the Academia's forces and fight our way beyond the wall of Samiel.
Ridiculous. Think about it. The Academia controls the entirety of Sumeru. Your powers are negligible in comparison. If you still don't believe me, then try asking these 2 men. They're also against the Academia, but neither of them are as arrogant as you are.
They look more like pawns of the Academia to me. Why would I listen to anything the people of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata have to? Filthy traitors. Your god abandoned all honor and betrayed the Scarlet King. We desert dwellers will never trust the likes of you.
It's impossible to communicate with someone so hostile. Perhaps we should.
Do you really believe that by kidnapping the scholars, you'll be able to negotiate with the Academia?
Alhaitham.
These people have no value as bargaining chips. But I could be persuaded to take their place as your next hostage. These scholars were exiled from the Academia. I, on the other hand, am their current scribe, and will—
Wait, you can't be serious.
So, you want to trade places with the hostages, do you?
Precisely. Any wise person would gladly accept my offer.
What are you thinking? What if they decide to kill you instead?
Well, that would be bad luck for me.
Okay.
However, I'd get the chance to observe the scholars, perhaps even find out the truth.
Think you can talk me over with that confident look of yours?
I'm not trying to persuade you. I'm using this as a means of joining forces against the Academia.
You are the scribe. What do you have against the Academia?
Not all desert dwellers believe in the Scarlet King, and the same applies to the Academia. Why must all knowledge seekers approve of the Academia's way of doing things?
You Academia scum. Every last one of you is nothing but a hypocrite, just like everyone else on the other side of that wall. I've made myself clear enough. I won't listen to another word from the Dendro Archon's people.
Wir sind kurz vorm Ende. Einigt euch.
Not so fast. Alhaitham, do you stand by everything you just said?
I never make empty promises.
You know you're making a dangerous decision, right?
I do.
Good. Raman, hear me out. These people are my friends. Maybe you can't take the followers of the Dendro Archon at their word, but what about me? Do you trust me?
We've known each other for years. Of course I do.
In that case, I'm willing to vouch for their honesty with my right arm. Come on, Raman, don't be a coward. If you're serious about taking on the Academia, you need to steel yourself. You can't be afraid.
An arm from the Flame Mane. You've piqued my interest. But what if you refuse to oblige? What should I do then? No one's a fool here, Dia. We're mercs. The mercs don't tend to live long, and
You're not wrong, but this is different. I promised my friends that we'd bring back the village keepers together.
Let's do it right here, then. Give me your right arm as proof of your resolve.
Nein!
Don't listen to him! He's not even trying to negotiate! He just wants to make things more difficult!
That's fine.
Are you crazy?
Oh, okay.
We came here to save lives. One arm for that many people is still a pretty good deal, if you ask me. Raman, I'm holding up my end of the deal here. You'd better not let me down.
Sure. Go ahead and cut off her right arm.
Du machst es nicht mal selbst, du feige Sau.
No! Dia! What are you gonna do? Think of something!
You don't have to go this far.
That's not for you to decide.
Do it!
Dia!
Dia! Run!
Stop!
Das fällt ihm ja früh ein.
What's wrong? Can't do it?
Flame Mane, you and I are both desert folk. Cutting off your arm is no different than cutting off my own fingers. Where's the sense in cutting my own kin to pieces? You've shown me that you're serious. Go on now, take your friends and leave. Meet me in the desert at noon.
War das jetzt notwendig? Mensch, Leute, man kann doch über alles reden.
I was really counting on him not going through with it.
Dia! That was crazy! Have you lost your minds? What if he'd actually cut your arm off?
Then I'd just have to hold my claymore with my left arm.
Ja gut, easy peasy. Bitte geh nie wieder so ein Risiko ein. Ich mache mir Sorgen um dich.
Okay, I'm sorry. But sometimes when you're out on a limb, you gotta double down to seal the deal, you know?
Don't ever make a promise like that again. I can deal with the likes of them. If it came down to it, you would not lose to them either.
I don't doubt it, Cyno. But this is about more than me and them. There's a lot more where they came from. Even if we got rid of one bunch of radicals, there are others out there. Wiping them out would do more harm than good.
As you wish.
I'm sorry, Dia. I should have stayed put and listened.
It's okay. I promised you I'd help find your grandpa, so I'll do whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes? You just might be scholar material.
Huh? Are you serious?
The Eremites once said that I was a lunatic. Perhaps a little madness is essential to be successful in research.
Why does it feel like he's using his praise for me as an excuse to brag about himself?
Das ist nur sein Objektivismus. Achte nicht darauf.
Okay, let's get moving. We should head back to the village and rest up. Today was just a trial run. Noon tomorrow is gonna be the hard part.
Alles ist ungewiss. Geheimnis der sengenden Wüste. Ich überlege gerade, ob ich jetzt langsam Schluss mache, weil ich muss morgen früh raus. Aber vielleicht ist das der letzte Part. Ich fürchte, das ist nicht der letzte Part. Ich glaube, da kommt noch was. Ach, Leute. Dann würde ich sagen, wir lassen es für heute. Weil am Donnerstag streame ich ja eh schon wieder. Von daher müsst ihr ja nicht allzu lange warten und ich auch nicht. Auch wenn ich es jetzt gerne zu Ende bringen würde. Ja. Dann würde ich sagen, wir machen Schluss für heute. Nächster Stream, Donnerstag 20:30 Uhr, spielen wir wieder Genshin Impact tatsächlich. Einfach weil, ich sagte es ja schon am Anfang, es gibt viel zu tun. Es gibt einfach viel zu tun. So ist es in diesem Spiel. Deswegen müssen wir mal ein bisschen hier aufholen wieder. Ansonsten wird mein Zeitplan gepflegt. Oder ihr könnt auch zwischendurch gerne auf meinen YouTube-Kanal schauen. Da gibt es noch diverse Let's Plays. Fast täglich aktuell. Ist alles hier in der Info verlinkt oder auf meinem Discord-Channel. So, dann sehen wir uns am Donnerstag wieder, wenn ihr mögt. Habt noch einen schönen Abend, schlaft gut, wacht erholt auf, habt einen tollen Tag morgen und dann sehen wir uns am Donnerstag wieder. Bis dann, meine Lieben. Ciao, ciao.